Self-employed and gig workers who previously were unable to claim unemployment benefits are now eligible. In addition, the unemployed will get up to $600 per week for up to 4 months, which is equivalent to $15 per hour for a 40-hour work week. By comparison, the government-mandated minimum wage is about $7.25 per hour, and the average jobless benefits payment was roughly $385 per person per month at the start of this year. With more than 80% of Americans under some form of lockdown, up from less than 50% a couple of weeks ago, it's far from over. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. How do you encourage people to turn on one another during the COVID-19 pandemic? The answer is not that complicated, especially if you live in the city of Bellevue, Washington. Activist Post reports that 4 years ago when the city created the My Bellevue app, it was touted as being a quick and easy way to report things like down street signs, potholes, streetlight issues, and noise complaints. Fast forward to 2020, and public fears of COVID-19 have encouraged law enforcement to turn neighbors into government snitches. GeekWire revealed how the Bellevue Police Department has turned a public service app into a report on your neighbor's app. You can report incidents through the My Bellevue app on your electronic device or the My Bellevue portal. A recent Associated Press article revealed that people are happy to report on their neighbors. When law enforcement encourages Americans to turn against each other, we all lose. We become a nation controlled by fear. Lawrence Mark Sanger is an American Internet Project developer and co-founder of the Internet encyclopedia, Wikipedia. In 2001, Sanger coined the name and wrote much of its original governing policy. Sanger would go on to eventually leave Wikipedia, describing it as broken beyond repair, and has been an outspoken advocate for freedom of information ever since. And according to a recent tweet storm of his, he is highly outspoken against elite child sex trafficking. Wasting no time beating around the bush, Sanger opened a thread recently by dropping some big names, linking Trump, the Clintons, Bill Gates, and the royal family to the now-deceased billionaire child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Sanger also went on to expose how the political class protected the child predator, with folks from all sides of the political spectrum going out of their way to cover for the pedophile. After hammering on Epstein, Sanger then went after Hollywood, which he referred to as Pedowood, and the Catholic Church. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Despite a long-held consensus pointing to the mid-20s as the final stage of brain maturation, a new study has found that the adolescent brain doesn't fully form until boys have avenged their father's murder.
New imaging studies suggest that the frontal cortex goes through extensive changes during the period of training when an adolescent boy prepares himself to track down and kill the man who took his father's life. But it's not until the boy stares deep into the murderer's eyes and then stabs him right in the heart that the two lobes fuse into a fully mature brain.
According to Dr. Laurie's findings, the myelin surrounding the teenage nerve synapses develops when boys stake out the home of their father's murderer, put themselves through grueling physical training, and fantasize again and again about how satisfying it will be when he finally makes the bastard who took everything from him beg for his life.
Now, if they let their father's killer slip through their grasp, or if they press the barrel of a gun to the back of his head and then realize they don't have what it takes to pull the trigger, then the amygdala is definitively stunted, and they'll have lifelong problems interpreting emotional information.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Free Talk Live. Radio where you control the airways. Feel free to call in at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In studio, you have me, Vincent.
It's Ian.
And we have quite a show for you today. It's, I don't mean to talk about this with glee, but whenever there's something interesting in the news, I always appreciate it. We have just this global tyranny, right? So the world is becoming a prison planet. We have half the world's population is under lockdown. Because of this coronavirus, we have worldwide cases reaching 1 million people. Total economic fallout. We have governments encouraging their citizens to snitch and report on each other. Absolutely disgusting. We'll have Minister Freeman has that article. Plus your calls and thoughts. We have Jason in Florida who wants to talk about the coronavirus. Welcome.
You got to hit that air button.
Hit the air. Oh, excuse me.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so I thought I said all. All right, thanks. Sorry about that. Welcome. What's on your mind?
Hey, so I don't know. I wanted to talk about the coronavirus, but to start, do you guys watch The Simpsons? You know how The Simpsons has made like a bunch of crazy predictions.
Oh, yeah. Are you referring to, there was like this segment in The Simpsons where all of these different networks are talking to each other and they say that they need to come up with a pandemic, and it's all it's similar to, eerily, people would say it's very eerily similar to what's going on now. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, not specifically that episode. I was just trying to predict further off into the future based off of what they have predicted, you know.
So could you give us an example?
So you know how Donald Trump was elected? They had kind of predicted that.
Oh, the escalator, yeah. Where Trump, when he announced in 2015 he was running, he came down an escalator, and that's become like an iconic moment of the election. And The Simpsons, I remember they predicted President Trump a decade or more than a decade ago, and like the joke was, or I think Lisa was the president, and she said that the previous administration bankrupted the country under President Trump. I've heard of some things like that. Some people try and tie it in with the creator of The Simpsons, or one of the creators, being a Freemason and was invited to the Bohemian Grove. So it sounds ridiculous. Sorry, go ahead.
So what I just wanted to make a prediction off of it. So after Trump isn't president anymore, Lisa becomes president. So what I think is going to happen, so Joe Biden said that he's going to have a female vice president. I think Joe Biden's going to die of the coronavirus. Then the woman will get elected president, and then the economy is going to be in the trash when she's elected.
When you say she's elected, you mean will succeed him, right? So is that assuming Joe Biden becomes president? Well, I mean, under what circumstances do you think Joe Biden could become president? He's barely able to speak in a 5-minute interview without making everyone say, "Okay, Grandpa, time to go back to a retirement home. It's bingo night tonight."
Well, they've already pushed the Democratic convention back, I believe, to August now.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
No, I'm not saying I don't think that Joe Biden will win personally. I'm just saying that based off of the Simpsons doing things, I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Not guarantee.
All right, so you're saying that the Simpsons is predicting what's going to happen.
Yeah, because the economy is going to be in the trash. Because that's what they said. They said that Lisa inherits a crappy economy. So the economy is pretty bad right now.
Well, I, for one, welcome our new cartoon overlords.
All right, well, thanks for the call, Jason. Maybe we should all consult the Simpsons Political Almanac, right? Or at least maybe someone can make money off of that.
Used to the after show.
I know. I'm sorry about that. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. If you'd like to call in, doesn't have to be about the coronavirus, and actually it could be very welcome if it's something other than coronavirus. But whatever you want to call in and talk about, that's your prerogative. I think that's the English term. Whatever cartoons are predicting the future. So I'm actually. Yesterday was April 1st, right? Otherwise known as April Fool's Day, and there was an assembly that you were at, Ian. If you don't mind telling us about that.
Yeah, I went, and nobody, one of our other co-hosts, as well as over 10 people, which I was really pleased because I was honestly a little concerned that we wouldn't hit 11 people because you have to go to more than 10 people in order to violate the no gathering order. New Hampshire hasn't gone quite as far as some of the other states have as far as restricting people. It's not a total lockdown, meaning that you can still get together with under 10 people, but that's still a restriction on freedom. It's still a restriction on the right to assemble. And so we went out to have a freedom to assemble event, meaning that pesky Constitution with its First Amendment there talking about your right to free speech. Well, one of the other portions of that First Amendment is the right to assembly. And the idea is it's a human right to be with other people. If other people want to be with you, I mean, you can't force other people to be around you, but, presuming that you and others would like to get together, it should be something that you should be free to do. Now, is there a risk to it? Maybe. Maybe this flu-like thing or whatever you want to call it, this coronavirus, is dangerous. Maybe it is not as bad as they say it is. Maybe it's worse than they say it is. But each individual should be deciding what level of risk they want to take. I don't want somebody in Concord, New Hampshire or Washington, D.C. making a decision for me as to what level of risks I can take. It's my life. It's my body. And to me, I'd rather have freedom than safety. I'd rather take my chances with the coronavirus or with whatever other risks are in life, because there's a bunch of them. You're risking things just getting out of bed in the morning. Most accidents happen in the home. So life is full of risks. Let me make the decision for myself. So anyway, we got together at the State House, and there were about, at one time, I think we had as many as 13 to 15 people there.
And what sort of reaction did you get from the locals?
Mixed reaction, as I expected to get. Anytime you go out and do like a protest of some sort, you're almost always going to get somebody flipping you the bird. You're almost always going to get somebody shouting at you out the window. You can barely understand them or whatever. Just because people hate protesters, they may not even know what you're protesting. They just hate the fact that you're there, and they just hate seeing protesters. In this case, it was pretty clear why we were there because, well, we had signs. I think my sign said,
Assembly is a human right. Yeah, I'm looking at the freekeen.com article that's up on there. Assembly is a human right.
Yeah, there's some other really creative signs there as well.
We have live free or die. Death is not the worst of evils.
By the way, that is the quote from General John Stark, whose statue we are photographed in front of at the State House grounds. That is the New Hampshire. That phrase was made into the New Hampshire state motto. It appears on license plates. It appears all over the place. And as I say in my article at freekeen.com, General Stark is probably rolling over in his grave at just how unfree the people of New Hampshire and the people of the United States and the world are today.
Oh, absolutely. Very good point. So for people who want to get the full story, you could visit freekeen.com. It's it's the front page.
Yeah, and I was also really pleased that the police didn't mess with us at all. You were out at the nightcap that we had last weekend here in Keene, which was our first attempt to violate the 10-person no gathering order. We only hit 9 at that event, so we didn't quite make that one. But the police also ignored us there. They could have told us to go home. They could have said, hey, there's a stay-at-home order, because there's 2 different orders. I mean, the governor's actually passed 24 orders at this point, but the ones specifically that we were violating were stay-at-home order and the no gatherings of over 10 people. So the police left us alone when we were doing it in Keene at nighttime, and the police in Concord also left us alone at the event yesterday, with one officer even waving at us as he went by. So
that's encouraging.
Yeah. So maybe he also supports the right to assemble.
So we'll speaking of right of assembly, it might still be in danger. There's no end in sight, according to Dr. Fauci. There
is never an end to danger. I will tell you that.
No, absolutely not. 855-450-FREE. If you'd like to call in, this is Free Talk Live.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward Liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the Liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. sales.freetalklive.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, everyone, to Free Talk Live Radio, where you control the airwaves, which you could access at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In studio, you got Vincent.
It's Ian.
And we're just about to get into, this is from CNSnews.com. Dr. Fauci, who's the head honcho in the Trump administration behind dealing with the coronavirus pandemic, he says, we could relax social distancing when we have no new cases or new deaths. which is, I mean, and now mind you, a coronavirus is one of the most common families of the what we call the common cold virus. So I mean, unless, and as I said, we're gonna get into the article here, but it seems to me that reads as indefinitely, right?
That's what it sounds like.
And that's the thing. Social distancing. It's not just people. It's not just washing your hands and coughing into your elbow. It's businesses shut down. It's just all this pandemonium we've been seeing. So Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, said Wednesday that once there are no new coronavirus cases or new deaths from COVID-19, social distancing can be relaxed. During the White House Coronavirus Task Force briefing, a reporter asked whether social distancing guidelines will be in effect until there's a treatment or vaccine. So Fauci replies, I think if we get to the part of a curve that Dr. Birx showed yesterday, when it goes down to essentially no new cases, no new deaths at that period of time, I think it makes sense that you will have to relax social distancing. Fauci said, oh, yeah, it'll make sense that we relax social distancing after just literally no one is getting sick with it. So what if there's just a dozen people, right? Like a dozen cases in California? Does that mean New Hampshire and the rest of the East Coast have to be still shut down?
Well, if it just keeps one person safe.
We can't have any deaths, right? I mean, the government, right? That's what we pay tax money for. So the government could prevent people from dying of colds.
Yeah, I am just so disheartened and sickened by this. Look, I get it. It's no fun when family members or friends pass away. Nobody likes that to happen, but it's part of life. It's going to happen. And what is the value of life if you can't be free to make your own choices in your life? And one of those choices should be to be able to give somebody a hug or a handshake or, be close to them if that's what you choose to do, if that's what both parties would like to do. And this social distancing stuff is, in my opinion, it's antisocial, and I don't think it's good for humans at all.
Oh, no, absolutely. We're seeing record levels of depression and suicidal thoughts. And
already? In what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, just less than a month. And people are also, I mean, at least from my experience, people are at each other's throats. People are getting cabin fever. I've seen where there's like video of people coughing on police. Coughing
and getting arrested for
yeah, absolutely. We have people threatening to report their neighbors to the police. We have we're coming up in the broadcast. I'll play a video.
Oh, yeah. We had some of those people drive by the event yesterday when we were out at the Right to Assemble event.
They threatened to call the police on you?
No, they didn't specifically say that, but they were like, you're supposed to be social distancing, and, just talking S to us out of their car window, basically.
Yeah, I mean, well, hey, folks, what are you doing outside, right? Why aren't you social distancing?
They were safely ensconced within their cars, I guess.
I see. Although now there's some evidence I've seen that the coronavirus could be, I think it's called bioaerosolized, where all you have to do is, we're doing tests at breathing, right? Just by me breathing, we could spread the coronavirus to one another.
Yeah, well, and they are saying now that the proper social distancing length is like 24 feet instead of 6 feet or something like that. I mean, can you imagine?
We're going to have to build wider houses if
it's
that's
absurd.
The case.
I mean, you've already got stores, for instance, that are telling people to distance themselves in lines. They're like drawing lines on the floor or outside or whatever, and people are staying away from one another, and it's just frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. And I think some people like this, right? Because it's where people want to be part of a team. And this is what a lot of the people on the left would say when they talk about Trump and the midterms. They'd say, oh, this is our climate change. That's what AOC, Alexander Ocasio-Cortez says. This is our generation's World War II, right? In regards to climate change. And I think a lot of people people like to feel part of something, right?
A movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're saving people.
Grow your victory garden, right? Don't hoard gasoline rations, back like in the
That's exactly what this is. It's that same mentality of, what? You're not going along with what everyone else is doing? You're not doing what you're told? Well, you must hate freedom. You must hate society. You hate old people. You're putting everyone at risk. Why don't you just do what you're told? You're a problem.
Oh, it's like an invasion of the body snatchers, except, they are screeching to a certain extent, where, everyone just points at you and freak out. So, but here we go. We have back to this article. Fauci is talking about hope. The one thing we hopefully would have in place, and I believe we will have in place, is a much more robust system to be able to identify someone who is infected, isolate them, and then do contact tracing, he said. So this sounds like something out of, what was that movie with Will Smith and Gene Hackman? Enemy of the State, or maybe I'm thinking Eagle
Enemy
Eye.
of the State, yeah.
Right, yeah, it's like 1984 Eagle Eye, where they have this whole network of cameras, hidden cameras too, and tracking. But that's okay. It's not going to be to crack down on dissidents or people who are against the government. It's going to be to keep us safe by tracking who's sick or not. At least according to him. Quote, if you have a really good program of containment that prevents you from ever having to get into mitigation, we are in mitigation right now. That's what the social and physical distancing is. The ultimate solution to a virus that might keep coming back would be a vaccine. Even though
the ultimate solution.
Some might say the final solution. And first off, the reason why, you know why there's no vaccine for the common cold?
No, I don't.
Because unlike bacteria, right? Antibiotics work against bacteria because there's certain strains of bacteria. Mm-hmm. Viruses are always changing. So
they're mutating.
Exactly, yeah. And which is why it's so ridiculous with a flu shot, where they can't, I think most of the time, a majority of the time, they can't even get
They're guessing.
And they've been at this for years, for decades with the flu. And now
I've never gotten a flu shot. Not interested. And I'm not going to get this shot either.
Even as a child, you never got a flu shot?
Nope.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
No, as a child, I think they gave me mumps, rubella, and
RMA or
whatever the basic
the schedule is,
whatever the basic 80s shots were. But then they got more since then. They've added more shots to the default things that people are supposed to get.
Oh yeah, and they give them all at once and such.
Yeah.
It's this is beyond the scope of the discussion. Yeah, I mean, but I wonder if, and he talks more about the vaccine here, right? Where if
the vaccine that doesn't exist yet, but likely will at some point, and we've already seen these governments trying to strongly encourage people to get the flu vaccine. But will they take the next step? Given that they have a fairly large portion of the populace that is interested in seeing obedience on their neighbors' parts. You've got a video of a woman who is snitching on her neighbors. There's also other stories about Rasmussen showing 2/3 support closed borders for their state and fines for social distancing violators. I don't think they asked the question in this poll whether you support forced vaccinations. But if you've got 2/3 of Americans saying they want to close the borders to their states and fine people for getting too close to one another, it seems almost inevitable that those same people would support mandatory vaccines.
Oh, absolutely. They think this is a drastic times call for drastic measures, right? A drastic time, even though I think there's been more people who've died from just regular influenza. We'll continue on. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit divvyproject.org. divvyproject.org. Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
America is at a crossroads on many issues, leading many to ask, is it time for the president to blow the silver horn left behind by the Founding Fathers in case the country ever needed them? Of course, the horn, which has been sitting in the Oval Office since 1817, has never been used by a commander-in-chief, but many Americans think now might be the time to summon our forefathers. Which Founding Fathers would come back?
All of them. Look, when you have a bug problem, you call the exterminator. When you have an America problem, you call the Founding Fathers. They know what to do.
We have to keep in mind the Founding Fathers left us with a warning. If you blow the horn with less than pure intentions, it will turn to tin and can never be used.
But a president has to take risks, have the courage to admit that his administration is not all-knowing, and blow that magic silver horn to summon someone who is.
Yes, but what if we become too reliant on them and they disappear after the next new moon, as was written?
This is the Onion News Network.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar! That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com. Advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, everyone, to Free Talk Live Radio, where you control the airwaves, and which you could do so by calling in to the toll-free number 855-450-FREE. That is 855-450-3733. In studio, I'm Vincent.
It's Ian.
And I want to talk to you about localbitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at localbitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit localbitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. That's local.bitcoin.com. So now we are returning to finishing up this article from Trump's main guy on the coronavirus task force, Dr. Fauci, who is putting a lot of hope into a potential vaccine that could, quote, cure the coronavirus. And until then, the social distancing guidelines will not be laxed until there are 0 cases and 0 deaths from coronavirus. So
get ready to see plexiglass between you and every cashier. They've already started putting it up. I knew this was coming.
Outside the inner cities, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Normally, it's like government offices where they always have glass between you and the bureaucrats. Now you're going to start to see it, I think, at a lot more private businesses. And I think that's really sad.
Oh, yeah, and it's scary, too, just how used to it, right? Just how people are conforming to it, right? We're like in just a month, right? Or less than a month, our entire world has been changed to fit, to fit these rules and guidelines. And people, not only are they just taking it, they're shaming people who aren't accepting it. Like, oh, what's wrong with you?
That's right.
It's like it's Orwellian, where it's like, oh, we've always been at war with East Asia, and then we're at war with the other country.
Right, and also they are doing this shaming with this sort of patriotic fervor in their hearts, right? Like as though you were mentioning this before, they're part of something that's bigger than them, and they're trying to save lives, and anybody that doesn't go along to get along is not, they hate people and they hate life, and it's like, no, I like life, I enjoy life, and to me life is being able to make choices, and this takes that all away.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one might wonder if that's the goal. But before we continue,
Yes.
we have Dave from New York on the line. Welcome. What's on your mind?
Hey there, guys. Yeah, I don't believe in this whole social distancing thing because, I have a gerb, and, I just don't believe, girls are saying, stay at home. No, I refuse to stay home because I will not be, I will not be a hermit. I refuse to be a hermit staying inside. Stay inside. Oh, hell no.
Well, it's rare that we agree on things, Dave, but I'm actually with you on this one.
So have you been shamed at all for refusing to follow these social distancing guidelines?
I just won't stay at home because, I have a gerb, I do the whole Instacart thing, and, I don't like staying at home. Like my neighbor across the parking lot, she never comes out. She's a hermit. I can't stand hermits, people who stay at home all the time.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, if somebody wants to be a hermit, that's their business. It has no effect on my life if somebody wants to stay inside all the time. But if they call the cops on me because I feel like going out for a walk or hanging out with some friends or whatever, then I got a problem.
Yeah, I just won't, my neighbor across the parking lot, she has this something red. How can people stay at home all the time? How can they do it? I refuse, and come saying, stay at home.
Well, that's the thing.
Don't go
Somebody
out,
had
don't
asked
go
this
out.
question previously of like, why didn't the government do this? I think it was on your show, actually, Vincent. I think Stefan asked this question last night. Like, why didn't the government gang implement these restrictions on the previous H1N1 or bird flu or whatever, the other horrible supposed things that came out over the last 2 decades? And I think it's because they probably thought people weren't quite ready for it. There wasn't enough sort of natural social distancing going on. But now you've got entire generations that spend their time with these devices alone, even when in physical proximity with other people. They will use the devices to communicate with one another.
It's so disgusting. Yeah, I mean, as a college student, I see that first. I see that all the time. So, Dave, I just want to ask you. So, if you're told by the police to stay at home and be a hermit, what would you do?
I would say no because I got bills to pay. I don't have a laundromat. I got to do laundry. I got to go food shopping for myself. I got bills to pay. I will not be a hermit.
All right, well, good for you, Dave, for sticking up for yourself, and thank you for the call. 855-450-FREE, that's 855-450-3733 if you'd like to call in. And that's good to hear that some people, right, especially in the police state of New York, aren't taking this lying down, that some people refuse to be slaves.
Well, I have to wonder where this is all going to go, because if you end up with what they're suggesting here, which is this Fauci guy saying that social distancing will remain a thing until no one else has this, that this is going to be basically a permanent solution for people, a new way of life, so to speak. It's like, I don't want to live that life. That's not to say I'm going to go out and commit suicide, but some people will. And so, for all the people who are like, well, but if it just saves one life, thinking about like their grandparents or whatever, right? Like, that's what people are thinking of, right? When they go into this, it's like they love their grandparents or their parents, people who are in their 70s or 80s or whatever, and they don't want them to suffer. And you can't blame somebody for feeling that way. These... Damn it, I don't remember where I was going.
Well, why not just put everyone in? I think it might have been FDR of all people who said it's like, why not just throw everyone in jail, right? That'll make sure everyone is safe. Or just put everyone in a medically induced coma because they'd physically be alive, right? And, they can't do stuff to hurt themselves. They can't get addicted to drugs.
I remember what I was going to say.
You have to live, right?
Right. So you've got these people who are justifying these new restrictions on freedom because, well, it could save people's lives. Don't you care about saving people's lives? Well, what about the people who are going to commit suicide as a result of having to stay indoors all the time, not being able to socialize with people, losing their jobs? Because that's going to be a major factor coming up here in the next month or so, is when these businesses that are currently furloughing workers, meaning, putting them on temporary, you still have your job, Vincent, you just can't come to work.
And unpaid usually,
right? Unpaid furlough. And it's happening in a lot of different businesses in our very own radio industry. I just saw news headlines today. Yesterday it was iHeartMedia, one of the largest companies in radio. Today it was Town Square Media, another very large radio broadcaster. Other companies, smaller companies, furloughing and even laying off workers already. Just telling people, sorry, we can't afford to have you anymore. So how many of these people are going to end up killing themselves? And when I was talking with somebody about this, who was trying to convince me not to go to the event yesterday, their claim was, well, suicide is a choice. So that was their comeback to, well, don't you if you care about life, don't you care about the lives of the people who are killing themselves over this? Because you're going to lose maybe thousands of lives alone with suicide. So some people are going to die from this disease. I get it. But if you have these social distancing rules in, then there's other people who wouldn't have died from the disease who are going to die by their own hand.
Absolutely. I just want to say that, technically, yes, it is true that suicide is a choice, unless you have evidence against Hillary Clinton. But there's a reason why people say someone was driven to suicide. No one wakes up and just says, I don't want to go to work.
Right.
No, I mean, people, it's just over a period of time, and it could be a short period of time or a long period of time. You just have these negative emotions and negative feelings and negative experiences that makes it so someone's life is so unbearable that it would be, they have no one has any idea what's going to come in the next life, right? No one has a concrete idea, but whatever is in the next life is better than what they have to deal with in this life. So,
and while they may have chosen suicide, they didn't choose to have the circumstances that drove them there. They didn't choose to quit their job. They lost it. And it was because of these government restrictions that were put on place and forced upon them.
And the sheeple going along with it, encouraging them. It's absolutely disgusting. We're going to continue that and get to your phone calls. 855 453. This is Free Talk Live.
He learned to pitch in your backyard. Now his team's coming over to celebrate their high school championship. So you need to patch those bare spots fast. Pennington One Step Complete has a revolutionary formula that repairs bare spots in only 2 weeks or less. Pennington's been trusted since 1945, and now it works even faster. One Step Complete from Pennington. Honest green. Get your lawn ready for any occasion. Head to your local retailer to pick up One Step Complete.
As soon as we're back out in our yard, we get company.
Dandelions, lurking crabgrass, and wheat-thin grass. But Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action takes care of them all. Now, with one bag, you can kill weeds, prevent crabgrass for up to 4 months, and feed for greener grass. Triple Action, so your lawn thrives, guaranteed. Only from Scott's.
Weeds aren't welcome here.
This is a Scott's yard. Pick up a bag of Scott's Triple Action today.
As soon as we're back out in our yard, we get company.
Dandelions, lurking crabgrass, and wheat-thin grass. But Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action takes care of them all. Now, with one bag, you can kill weeds, prevent crabgrass for up to 4 months, and feed for greener grass. Triple Action, so your lawn thrives, guaranteed. Only from Scott's.
Weeds aren't welcome here.
This is a Scott's yard. Pick up a bag of Scott's Triple Action today.
She used to play hide and seek in your backyard. Now, she's getting married in it. So when you see a bare spot, you need something that patches it fast. Pennington One Step Complete has a revolutionary formula that repairs bare spots in only 2 weeks or less. Pennington has been trusted since 1945, and now it works even faster. One Step Complete from Pennington. Honest green. Get your lawn ready for any occasion. Head to your local retailer to pick up One Step Complete.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Free Talk Live radio, where you control the airwaves at 855-450-3733. And I'm going to go to Jason in Pennsylvania, who's been waiting very patiently on the call-in lines. But first, I want to talk to you about Intercoin. Have you heard of Intercoin? Intercoin is working to make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. If you missed your opportunity to get in on Bitcoin from the start, then here's your chance to join what might be the next revolution in money. Check out intercoin.org, and if you like what you see, pick up some of these coins for yourself. Just as the internet is a global network that connects local networks, Intercoin is a global currency platform that enables communities around the world to issue and manage their own currency so they may circulate it among their local population. Intercoin enables fintech innovation on the local community level, leading to stronger communities, greater sustainability, less poverty, and more productivity. Check out intercoin.org. Our listeners must know that Free Talk Live received $40,000 worth of tokens by Intercoin for advertising. And so now, without further ado, we go to Jason from Pennsylvania. Thank you for holding. What's on your mind?
Yeah. How are you guys?
Hey, Jason.
I'm doing great.
Good. I'm doing marginal given the circumstances out there right now. Hey, one thing that strikes me is obviously you guys, you're definitely been on freedom of choice, and that's type of thing. But this is, I believe that too. But this is where I differ. We have a real problem on our hands right now.
Yeah, it's called the government.
And yeah, it is. You know why? This is gonna tick you off. But I'm not here to tick you off. But they're not doing enough.
Really?
I mean, we have as a society, don't we have a choice here? So we have a choice. Basically, we could of course wait for some vaccine, which of course I don't want to take either. We could let this virus just burn its way through, and whatever happens, happens.
I'm on that side.
Or we could crush it.
How?
And we need to crush it by falling in line here for a little while. And it's pretty minor, if you ask me. I mean, people are still able to go to work as long as the circumstances are reasonable.
You mean as long as the government goons have described their job as so-called essential?
I know. It sounds terrible. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
It does. But
yeah, you've got like a quarter of the American people that are out of work right now.
I know. But here's I guess I should ask you this question: what's worse, going out and getting this virus? Which, by the way, I know you guys are younger than me. I'm in my mid-40s. By the sounds of it, and I've been doing a lot of research on this, you don't want it. So now you go out into society and you go to a bar or whatever you'd like to do in your free time, and I miss those days. you have a choice. You go out to that bar and get this virus because nobody did anything to stop it, and possibly take a ride in an ICU bed, maybe have a tube jammed down into your lungs. And that seems to be happening with a lot of regularity, by the way.
Well, that's certainly what they want you to think.
Yeah, well, where are you getting this information from?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm not one of these people that you probably think just watches one source of news. I've heard this from probably. Oh my God! I mean, let's put it this way: if this is a hoax, you would have to get hundreds.
I didn't say it was a hoax.
So, how many people do you personally know either have caught COVID-19, have been tested positive for it, or had to have a tube shoved down their throat as a result of COVID-19?
That's an easy way to argue this. Obviously, it's still in its infancy right now.
Well, but how many people do you know? How many people do you personally know?
None. Yeah. Well, how many people do you? None.
None. Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, that doesn't prove anything. I'm just curious. So, you're saying it's happening all over. Go ahead.
Personally, I know people that own a Lamborghini. Does that mean that the Lamborghinis don't exist?
That's not an argument. We're talking about a virus here. You know, a Lamborghini is something that's expensive. That's.
By the way, you're not that much older than me, my man. I mean, you maybe have a few years on me, but that's about it. To me, I'd rather be free to take my chances. So I'll do what I want. And if somebody wants to stay inside, that's their freedom too. If somebody wants to sit indoors all the time and stay away from other humans and have all their food delivered to them, they can totally do that. Why does everybody else have to be inconvenienced by that?
That becomes a prison. But the problem is, if you're trying to avoid this thing, and it is dangerous, that's a prison. You're actually being imprisoned by the virus, which has not been controlled.
That's what's happening.
What virus has been controlled, right? What virus? Right? They can't control the common cold that loses billions and billions of dollars every year, gets lost. Influenza they can't control. So you're talking about like controlling something. That's why they call it an invisible enemy.
Measles has been under control. At mumps, we have a lot of control over these things, and there's been lots of good effects of. It's common sense. If you don't give the virus the ability to jump from person to person, it goes away, and that's the only tool we have right now. And
according to WHO, the World Health Organization, worldwide, more than 140,000 people died from measles in 2018.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not too worried about measles.
Okay.
I've been inoculated. But bottom line is, let me ask you this, guys.
All right, last question, bud. Last question. Go ahead.
Okay, well, anyway, how about this then? Why don't you guys try to find some time, a way to solve this problem for us tonight? Because I've been hearing nothing but, I've been hearing nothing but complaining about it, but why don't we solve this thing tonight?
No, I'm not complaining about the virus, dude.
Well, thank you for the call.
I just want to be clear. I'm not complaining about the virus. It's just another virus.
We're complaining about the government.
I'm complaining about what I'm being told I have to do because some government goon wants to aggregate more power to themselves. And I'm just telling you, it may be dangerous. Honestly, I don't know how dangerous this is. I know one thing's for sure. I don't believe whatever the government says. Now, maybe you're going to say, oh, it's the old boy who cried wolf. Yeah, government, they're usually lying to you. But this time, this one time, the government's finally telling you the truth. You should believe them this time and do whatever it is they say, because they know some smart doctors, and they are going to tell you what to do to make sure everybody can stay as safe as possible. You know what? I don't care about staying as safe as possible. My life has never been about staying as safe as possible. If I had taken the safe road in my life, none of us in this room would be here right now. This room would not exist. This show would not exist. This whole thing that we do would not exist if I had taken the safe road.
Oh, yeah. Fortune favors the bold. And I have to say that, like, I do appreciate what he was saying, that we hear about a lot of people fear-mongering and complaining, but there's not too many solutions other than trusting the government. And for me, I think that just by having people there's a nutrition issue in this country, right? Where we have people addicted to fast food, addicted to this fake Frankenfood GMO. You have especially, at least I'll talk for my generation, because I know people on campus would get sick all the time, and then you'd find out about their lifestyle, right? They're staying up late. They're not getting enough exercise. They're under computers and phones all the time. They're not eating right. They're eating was like you have a dining commons food, and which has to allegedly, at least there's a rumor that the college would have to put laxatives or something inside the food. That's beyond the point. Because people aren't drinking enough water. People are drinking soda instead of water or juice or coffee. And I'd say that we have to have the country just be educated, right? I mean, use public schools to teach people. Well, actually, okay, hold on.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say because they don't teach it.
They don't teach risk taking at public schools. They teach safety.
Oh yeah, they teach children how to be employees instead of employers,
right. And that's the safe road.
And but
just get a job, get a paycheck, retire,
become a wage slave, don't buy property, live in a tiny little coffin apartment, don't have a lawn.
You'll never get anywhere if that's what you do. If you follow the state's recommendations of get a college degree, get a job, get a career, and then, maybe pump out a couple kids during the time and just, retire with Social Security. That's what they want you to do.
I just realized it now. The reason why we're not hearing too much about like cures, because anytime someone brings up a quote cure or a treatment, right? Like Trump with the what was it called? Hydroxy. I forget exactly what name of a drug it is, but they would get attacked in the media. They would get censored on social media for spreading quote disinfo. And I'm by no means a doctor or have any like scientific expertise, but like for me, I've been supplementing vitamin D because I'm a white person living in New Hampshire, right? I don't get very much sun. And 2, I've been taking zinc because of as supplements, right? Antiviral properties. So that's what I've been doing. And ever since I've been taking those supplements, I haven't gotten any sort of viral or bacterial infection. So, I mean, it could just be I'm lucky, right? I'm young, but I think people just have to learn more about nutrition, what their bodies need, right? You see on the back of food, it says X% of your daily nutritional intake value. All right. Hopefully that's enough solutions for you. We're going to get to loaded phone lines. We're going to get back to that. Going to get back to talk about the economic fallout from the coronavirus, plus your calls at 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network. and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,618, silver at $14.40, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,874. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, after last week's unprecedented 3.3 million surge in initial jobless claims, this week's is even more unprecedented, adding a stunning 6.648 million for a 2-week sum of 10 million new Americans claiming unemployment benefits. Activist Post reports that, of course, the government is coming to the rescue. As a result of a freshly passed relief bill, self-employed and gig workers who previously were unable to claim unemployment benefits are now eligible. In addition, the unemployed will get up to $600 per week for up to 4 months, which is equivalent to $15 per hour for a 40-hour work week. By comparison, the government-mandated minimum wage is about $7.25 per hour, and the average jobless benefits payment was roughly $385 per person per month at the start of this year. With more than 80% of Americans under some form of lockdown, up from less than 50% a couple of weeks ago, it's far from over. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. How do you encourage people to turn on one another during the COVID-19 pandemic? The answer is not that complicated, especially if you live in the city of Bellevue, Washington. Activist Post reports that 4 years ago, when the city created the My Bellevue app, it was touted as being a quick and easy way to report things like down street signs, potholes, streetlight issues, and noise complaints. Fast forward to 2020, and public fears of COVID-19 have encouraged law enforcement to turn neighbors into government snitches. GeekWire revealed how the Bellevue Police Department has turned a public service app into a report on your neighbor's app. You can report incidents through the My Bellevue app on your electronic device or the My Bellevue portal. A recent Associated Press article revealed that people are happy to report on their neighbors. When law enforcement encourages Americans to turn against each other, we all lose. We become a nation controlled by fear. Lawrence Mark Sanger is an American Internet project developer and co-founder of the Internet encyclopedia, Wikipedia. In 2001, Sanger coined the name and wrote much of its original governing policy. Sanger would go on to eventually leave Wikipedia, describing it as broken beyond repair, and has been an outspoken advocate for freedom of information ever since. And according to a recent tweet storm of his, he is highly outspoken against elite child sex trafficking. Wasting no time beating around the bush, Sanger opened a thread recently by dropping some big names, linking Trump, the Clintons, Bill Gates, and the royal family to the now-deceased billionaire child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Sanger also went on to expose how the political class protected the child predator, with folks from all sides of the political spectrum going out of their way to cover for the pedophile. After hammering on Epstein, Sanger then went after Hollywood, which he referred to as Pedowood, and the Catholic Church. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
U.S. officials assure Hong Kong that their protest is just one of many issues the White House is staying silent on, and an old guy at a hostel is down to party. This is the Onion Week in Review. Stunned officials from the Marine Conservation Institute announced this week that the past half-century of climate change and habitat loss somehow hasn't managed to take down the parrotfish. Biologists stress that despite destructive chemical runoff, rising ocean temperatures, and overfishing, the persistent little shits were somehow plugging right along like nothing had even happened.
You look at the oil spills, greenhouse gases, and God knows what else we're throwing at them, and you think, yeah, those subtropical should have been wiped out decades ago. But nope, these sons of bitches are still around and doing better than ever.
In other news, a grasshopper is dismembered by a future Supreme Court justice. A man having a great time will soon have to apologize to everyone, and Rand Paul pretends to be asleep so his dad will carry him in from the car.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Free Talk Live Radio, where you control the airwaves, and which you could do at 855-450-3733. That is 855-450-3733. And before we continue on here, finally finishing this article on Dr. Fauci's miracle vaccine, right, that he's about to talk about, and he gets into more disinfo. We have Jason from Arizona who's been patiently waiting. So we'll take him. What's on your mind? Thank you for calling.
Hello?
You there, Jason?
Yes, sir.
Hi, you're on the air.
Thank you. Hey, guys, I've been listening to you guys for a long time. Somehow you guys are not on Arizona for any reason. Not quite certain how that happened.
We're not on in Arizona?
But, I'm listening to K-Talks, and it's somebody else.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, I'll make a note of that and see if I can figure out what's going on. Thanks for the heads up.
Thanks for the heads up. Is there anything else you'd like to bring up?
Well, of course. I called you a few days ago about the taxi company.
That was a different host.
You're going to have to recap whatever that was, because there's new listeners, new
I
hosts.
Apologize. Well, because with taxi companies, they are the people that work for them are not self-employed, but contracted independently. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll go get a stimulus for them. I mean, myself, I'm a tad bit okay. But for these guys, they work their asses off. They're beating out Uber. They're beating out Lyft. They're beating out everybody over here. And my guys are exhausted. But at the same token, they get 1 or 2 calls a day.
Hold on. Let me see if I'm following what you're saying. It's a little confusing. You run a taxi company?
Because they're not on payroll. Yes, sir.
Okay.
But they're not on payroll.
Yeah, right.
They get paid. And so I thought maybe, okay, I'm going to get you guys some money for the slow time right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to work out that way because some of them are on Social Security. They do this as a side job to make it ends meet. And I'm baffled at the whole situation.
Well, I mean, what can you do? I mean, if people don't need rides, then you're out of business.
But the problem is, if I get $1,200, I thought about just passing to them just to keep them.
Give them something.
You know what I'm saying?
That's generous of you.
How many guys do you have working for you?
Sometimes 12, sometimes 24.
Okay, so I mean, you're talking about $50
on how
a
many
piece.
Cars. Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's barely going to buy them the alcohol for the weekend. So, I mean, it's a nice gesture. It's a nice gesture, but it's probably not going to be enough to make the difference one way or the other. I'm not saying don't do it. I mean, if you can afford to do it, then that's very nice.
But half of them come in, they can't even afford to pay their own phone bill.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
they're
ultimately, it's not your fault, right? Like, it's not your problem. This is the beginning of what is going to be likely a very difficult time economically, and it's all being brought on us by the government and people's obedience to it. Because if people weren't just like, okay, tell me what to do, okay, I'll do whatever you say.
That's perfect. You said that just because I wanted to bring up this comment.
Yeah.
Me and my wife's a registered nurse, an actual nurse, not a pretend. And we run around here. I got a business. she's got her thing. It's all great. But at the end of the day, we're making money. Everybody else is, the only people that are sometimes she gets called off also. Apologize. It's just the recourse for the economics is not what they're saying. So when do we, as a people, when do we get involved and say, you know what, get out of here, Pelosi, get out of here? And I'm not at all I've never voted in my life, but I'm thinking for sure I will today.
Well, I'll tell you this. It won't make a damn bit of difference, you going to vote. I'm not telling you not to, but whether you vote or not is not going to make any difference because whoever runs against Pelosi is probably just as bad as she is. They're all bad.
So how about we limit terms? Let's just limit terms. I'm not, like I said, I'm not like that.
Yeah, if we can limit it to 0, like they never have a term, then I'd be okay with that.
No, I agree.
I would give you a year. If you do good for a year, then let's continue on.
They'll never do good. The positions are positions of power, and they attract people who are corrupted or corruptible or seeking that sort of power. And so therefore, you're screwed.
But the most of the society is just like, okay, what do we do next? And I'm looking at it going, what do you mean? What do you do next? You don't remember, back in the day when you were a kid or whatever, you didn't have to go to the grocery store. Simple things. And I just look at this whole thing. It's ridiculous.
Yep, much is true. It's
we
definitely
need to get
ridiculous.
Rid of them.
I totally agree. I wish we could. I wish most people had that sentiment.
We the people have that right.
Well, in theory, you do have the right to overthrow, hopefully peacefully rather than violently, but to overthrow any existing government. But the problem is if your neighbors don't want to go along with it, then you're basically up S Creek.
Yeah, you're going to be labeled a terrorist, and your face is, anyone who goes up against the system, and it's awful. And but hopefully, I'm glad to hear you're doing
Thanks
okay.
for the
Hopefully,
call.
you hang in there,
Appreciate
and your company. And I hope everyone listening is going to be doing okay. And I think that the opposite, I 100% agree that the way that this whole crisis has been handled by the government and the media, not handled, excuse me, this crisis
more like
created, yes. One would think that this is a time where people would just, that's why I'm hoping the whole QAnon thing and all the mass arrests are coming, but I don't think it's the case. I think, I know. I think it's the opposite.
Themselves. Sure.
I think it's the opposite where they're going to consolidate their power now.
Well, they're arresting people, just not the people in power. I mean, there's a story out of Los Angeles about a phalanx of police that was called to raid a birthday party for a 1-year-old recently. So that happened.
And they're citing the them violating social distancing.
Yeah, well, you can't be having a party. This is not the time for parties. You can't be getting together and having fun with anyone else.
Well, I will say, what's the point of having like a big birthday party for a 1-year-old kid if they're too young to remember it, right? Wouldn't you want to do something big for when they're like 5 or 6 and could remember it?
It's for the adults, right? Like they want to get together. They want to throw a party for their kid. They want to get together and, have a good time. But footage from the incident, according to the Daily Mail in the Hyde Park area in Los Angeles, shows a group of around 40 revelers refusing to comply with social distancing rules. Law enforcement were forced to call for backup as the crowd became agitated. According to a source, LAPD said no arrests were made, amazingly.
So you have people doing activism and civil disobedience in California, and compared to New Hampshire, everyone just staying home and saying, "Oh, we got to trust the government." That's a very shameful display. But good on California. Sometimes good things can come from bad places.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally a line of cops here with their, looks like they've got their
stormtrooper outfits.
No, they didn't don the stormtrooper outfits because they were just ultimately dealing with a bunch of people with kids.
Well, at least they didn't. So knowing cops, at least they didn't shoot the children or kill the
thank
dog.
Goodness.
Just a little bit left here. I just want to finish the Dr. Fauci's statement on the vaccine here. The supposed coronavirus vaccine. He's
trust us.
The ultimate solution. Yeah, trust the plan. Absolutely. The ultimate solution to a virus that might keep coming back would be a vaccine. In fact, I was on a weekly conference call with the World Health Organization, sponsored group of all the health leaders in the world for dealing with this, the director said. Now, for those of you unaware, the World Health Organization is heavily influenced by China. I played it on my evening show last night. A very shameful interview with one of the head honchos at the World Health Organization, refusing to talk about Taiwan, saying he already talked about China. The World Health Organization, who's been praising the Chinese handling of the outbreak, which is them putting a black bag over people's heads, throwing them in mobile execution vans, welding people into their house. So as far as I'm concerned, the World Health Organization is a bad actor in all of this.
Absolutely.
We all came to agreement that we may have cycling with another season, much better prepared. We will likely have interventions. The ultimate game changer in this will be a vaccine, the same way a vaccine for other diseases. Now we don't worry about them, Fauci said. Well, do we really not worry about diseases that have been, quote, cured by vaccination? We'll get to that on the other side, plus your calls at 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit divvyproject.org. divvyproject.org. Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
We call him Willy Wonka. He's a chocolate lab. His belly itched, and he would actually lay in the grass and scoot across it to scratch. And Sheba, his sister, she scratched at her ears real bad, and she shook her head so much, she wound up with cauliflower ears.
DINOVITE.com. Dinovite is nutrition.
When we first got the Dinovite, they cleaned the bowls up real good. Her ears, they're a whole lot better. Wonka, his belly, it's all really cleaned up. He flops over and lays on his back and just kicks his legs, and I call it his happy dance. They look good and even smell good in between baths. You should give your dogs Dinovite before something happens. And that's kind of like preventative maintenance.
Dinovite for life.
It makes them healthier and happier.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
And your dogs will love it just like mine do.
DINOVITE.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Free Talk Live, radio where you control the airwaves. And before what you could do so at 8:50 by calling in 855-450-3733. And before we go to the phones, I want to tell you all about Divvy. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyprojects.org. That's DIVI project.org. And now we have Reviler calling in from Tampa, Florida. Welcome. What's on your mind?
Hello, gentlemen. I'm just listening to you guys, man. Hey, I wanted to bring up, not the corona, we've been inundated, right? I want to bring up, did you guys hear that the famous former white nationalist Matthew Heimbach has spoken out and turned pro-diversity, is now working for a Jewish organization? What are your thoughts as libertarians, gentlemen?
So you're saying I'm sorry,
I wouldn't call any of these people famous.
Not even infamous, but I'm sorry, you're coming in a little soft there. So you're saying
wasn't this one of the dudes on the Vice documentary?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm asking. So Matt Heimbach, who's okay, so you're saying the founder of a Traditionalist Workers' Party, which is it's like a right-wing socialist sort of thing. He has
he's a Nazi.
He's a marcher at Charlottesville. He is now pro-diversity. He has rescinded white nationalism. That's what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Good for
I'm
him.
gonna yell a little bit.
You know, it's proof that people can change if that's what really happened, and I'm glad to hear it.
Ian, wait a minute. It's proof that some people are cowardly, you know what. I'm not going to curse, all right, cowardly pieces, you know what, because you know what? If the guy does not agree with a certain political ideology anymore or whatnot, that's fine, but walk away. You know, have the decency to not counteract. It's like if you guys had a libertarian that turned something else, which you have had, and imagine if they just trashed you guys for being libertarian.
It's happened multiple times. I don't care.
So you're saying he's like pulling a Christian Piccolini, right? He used to be this big bad Nazi, and then now he's going on all these shows saying how he's anti-racist and how he wow, that's
well, I think that sounds like the right thing to do. If he used to be a racist and he's turned against racism and now he's speaking out against it, then that's the right thing to do.
I think he's doing it because he wants a limelight. But sorry, go ahead, Rev.
Well, thank you. Wait a minute. I am an ethical and existential nihilist. But I am still a moral agent, and I have value preferences, as we all do, right, gentlemen? So listen here, Mr. Freeman, I was wrong about you, by the way. You're a nice guy. I don't think you're an a-hole. And Vincent, I like you, too. We can unblock each other on Telegram. I like you, kid. You look like me. You can use my music. Listen, I wish your resident transgender were here, but I'll get to the point because you have other callers, all right? I miss this stupid libertarian network, and I will listen to it more. But I want to say this. Matt Heimbach is not going to tell you about the low IQ, 68 Somali IQ buttholes that rape women. He's not going to tell you about the diaper-headed camel pieces of feces that say Allahu Akbar no matter what Will Coley says. He's going to punch against his fellow genetic kind because he's a piece of garbage and he takes it up the butt from
Well, you sound like you sound like you're a racist to me. So
I am, Ian.
So why am I going to care about what you have to say?
Well, that's stupid of you and myopic, but okay.
No, it's not. It's stupid and myopic it's stupid and myopic to look at people based on the groups that they're in, to look at them based on the color of their skin, to look at them based on where they were born, to look at them based on their religious preference. That's what's stupid. Smart people look at individuals and what they say and what they do, and that's where ends.
Ian, are you a moral absolutist? Are you a moral absolutist?
What does that mean?
Oh, come on. You're an educated man. Okay, a moral absolutist is somebody who perceives morals, or believes that they have an objective, like almost natural-like value, right? An ethical nihilist believes that they do not. They are subject to whatever. Only the universe is the most absolute thing. So what are you?
I'd probably be the latter, more likely to believe that morals can, differ based on different people's opinions.
Okay, so what about you, Vincent? Are you an sorry, but come on, it's been a while.
No, it's all right, and you're asking me, and I appreciate the call. Thank you. We got to get to other people. I suppose because I guess I am because I'm a Bible believing Christian. So
you believe there's one truth, and
I believe it's Jesus is the truth. So I guess
I think it's hard for humans to know what that truth is, if there is one truth.
Well, for me, that's why, and I understand it's impossible to physically prove it. I can't show a picture of Jesus rising from the dead, but that's where faith comes into it, right? So thank you. That's anyways. So thank you for the call. All right. So now I'm finally going to finish this here because this is what Dr. Fauci is saying about the vaccine.
Is this even worth finishing?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Here we go. Ian, trust the plan. I have a plan. Trust the plan. It's taking longer. So he says the ultimate game changer in this regarding coronavirus will be a vaccine, the same way a vaccine for other diseases. Now we don't have to worry about them, Fauci said. So do we not worry about mumps, measles, was it like polio? Do we not worry about the influenza? Well, I mean, we don't. Shallow answer, we don't. But you also hear from all of these ninnies and these status and busybodies, all the pro-vaccine people, we're having all these viruses and diseases come back because people aren't getting vaccinated. And they're pushing this herd immunity garbage. And so that's why, I don't buy it for a second. I think he sort of exposed himself right here. Oh, as soon as we have a vaccine, we're not going to have to worry. We could end the
everything
social
will be
distancing.
back to normal.
Yeah. And then it's going to be even worse. You're probably going to have I think what they're going to do is you're going to have mandatory vaccines every year if you want to be able to let out of your house, if you want to work in society.
You'll have to have vaccine papers. The police will check.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And they're already coming up with RFID and barcode things. It's totally out of Book of Revelation. It's I think if they had the Mark of the Beast come out, it's going to be something that the government forces everyone to take. So then he says, the vaccine is, as I said, it's on target. We are still in phase 1. There were 3 doses we had to attest to. We had been through the first 2 doses, and we're on the highest dose now. When we get that data, it will take a few months to get that data. A few months from now, we will be in phase 2. And I think they're right on target to a year or a year and a half.
Phase 2.
Yes, our plan was to have. I don't want to do. Was you ever seen Inspector Gadget? The
yes,
claw,
of course.
I don't want to do.
It's hard to do that voice, man. Frank Welker.
Oh yeah, I think he's still voicing Fred.
He's awesome.
Fred on Scooby-Doo.
Megatron as well.
Megatron. So, and what he says here, it fits into the 1.5 years, right? I think the largest period of time people are calling for social isolation or via social distancing that I saw from a mainstream source is a year and a half, 18 months. And this kid's saying, oh yeah, we're going to be right on target a year and a half, right? When you have the government that has access to trillions of dollars covering it, absolutely ridiculous. So, and most people I've been talking to are not trusting any of his vaccines. Hopefully you don't either, when or if it ever comes out. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about economic fallout. Americans are facing hunger crisis, demand for food banks, government stealing medical supplies from people, all that and more. This is the real deal, folks. This is Free Talk Live. And time for your calls at 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
If you're looking for work, you know what I mean by elevator speech. It's the short version, saying just enough to make the listener want to listen more. Even if you're not a job seeker, effective communication skills have never been more important, with money and attention so scarce now. So to cut through the clutter, choose every single word as though it was the last word the person you're speaking to will hear. Otherwise, it might be. Instead of saying, due to the fact that, say, because. And avoid mispronunciations. Say jewelry, not jewelry, which could offend. Undoubtedly, you don't want to say undoubtedly. And whatever you do, never use a preposition to end a sentence with. Just kidding. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome to the world's most powerful spells by High Priestess Catherine Oles. Now, this is kind of like a lot of those religions where you can just sort of just name yourself whatever you want to, right?
Right, exactly.
Super wizard.
Right there at the top. Wait, 1 year unconditional money back guarantee. So, like, if your spell fails over the course of the year, oh, the tumor came back.
Here are the terms. You must give the spell time to work. This time frame is 120 days from the date of purchase. That's
4 months.
A request made.
I don't even want the lover back after 4 months.
You must allow for time for a full energy exchange. Sometimes our spells take time. Must not be that powerful. Why can't I upgrade? I mean, she charges $97. Oh, wait, no.
There's a sale that ends tonight at midnight.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Free Talk Live radio, where you control the airwaves, which you could do so by calling into the number of a toll-free number at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And we're about to get into the doom and gloom here. We're about to talk about economic fallout mounts, worldwide cases top 1 million. Perfect storm. U.S. faces hunger crisis as demand for food bank soars. New Jersey governor orders state police to engage in piracy, land piracy. Needed medical supplies. Germans snitching on neighbors for flouting virus rules.
It's not just the Germans.
Oh, no, I know. But, Germany
Los Angeles is going to start paying people to do it.
Oh, yeah, and we're going to get to that, too. But Germany has a past of it, right? Because of the Stasi.
Sure.
And at one point, it was like 1 out of every 3 people was like an informant. It was an insane number. But first we have Jones Inc. on the on-air call-in line, who welcome.
Sup, Jonesy?
Hey, Vincent. Hey, Ian. How's it going?
Good.
I
What's
want
up?
to talk about the Reverend and his uneducated racism.
No, he's
So
not a
he said,
reverend, a reviler, not a reverend.
Okay, Rev. I'll call him Rev. He seems stupid, but he said Allah Akbar is racist, and those terrorists say it. Well, Allah Akbar means God is the greatest or God is great.
That's
now,
correct.
pretty much every major religion, such as Judaism, Islam, Christianity, they all believe in the same God, but they believe in different prophets. So I mean, I feel like uneducated the fact that he thinks that they're terrorists because they believe in a few different people.
Well, I think
their
he may
core
be an
principles
atheist.
are
I'm not
the
sure.
same.
It's been a while since we've talked to Rev. I think it's probably been like a year or so
Oh, that's
at
a good
least
point. Yeah,
since
it's been a
since he's called in. Doesn't
Hello?
sound like he's changed one bit though.
I just want to say that I don't, I consider myself Bible believing Christian, and there are other people who share my view. Actually, I'm not part of any denomination. I believe in a Trinitarian God, so I don't believe in the oneness that Pentecostals or Jews or Muslims believe in. So I just wanted to make that clear. And also, so do the Catholics, and I think Lutherans also believe in a Trinitarian God. So I just wanted to get that.
Most Christians, that's what they believe.
The
triune
Trinity, yeah.
God.
So I just want to say, compared to Islam and Judaism, and I think I can't pronounce it, but it's many others too. There's one, right? There's one
The
God,
monotheistic.
But just different. Yeah, a lot of them are modalists, where there's one God, but it has different. The essence of God has different.
I mean, are you really talking
incarnations.
about splitting hairs here? I understand that to Christians, there's it's a big deal. To Muslims, it's a big deal. The Muslims, the whole point, basically, I mean, as somebody who's read the Quran, I read it while I was in jail for civil disobedience. It's that's the main message of the Quran is, hey, Christians, you guys got this little detail wrong. But to these guys, to you and to the Muslims, it's a big detail.
Yes.
This is a fundamental difference between the religious systems. But on the outside, from my perspective, it's this is a minor issue. To say that it's one God or one God split into three, we're talking about literally splitting hairs.
Well, for me, I make it a point because what I think they're going to do when they roll out the Antichrist is it's going to be, they're going to say they're going to have the Pope and whoever's the head, I think in Iran. I forget if this is Sunnis or no, it's the Shia, right? The Shia who have the descendant of Muhammad or something. So we're gonna have all these religious leaders and some sort of new Rebbe or someone from Chabad to represent Judaism. We're all gonna get together and promote a politician or whoever's going to be the Antichrist, and they're going to say that this is one, right? It goes into the oneness where there's just this one God, and the Antichrist is going to either be that God or the Antichrist is definitely going to be worshipped as a God. So that's why I like to harp on the whole oneness thing, right? They're going to try and combine all the world's religions, and there's going to be a state religion, right? Which is essentially now the religion of the state. Anything else you'd like to add, Jones Inc.?
Do you have a show tonight questioning authority?
Thank you for asking, and I appreciate the call. No, Wednesdays and Saturdays are when I have my evening show, Questioning Authority, on LRN.FM, 10 p.m. Saturdays and 10:30 on around 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the Wednesday show, which is D-Live and Twitch only. So thank you for the call. So now we're about to begin here talking about the doom and gloom. We have economic fallout mounts, worldwide cases top 1 million. This is from the AP News.
Oh my God! 1 million sick people out of 8 billion people.
Time to force 4 billion people to stay in homes and not work and crash the global economy.
Right. It's so insane.
So the coronavirus outbreak has thrown 10 million Americans out of work in just 2 weeks.
No, it wasn't the outbreak.
It was a response.
Because if it had just been the outbreak, maybe some millions would have gotten it. Maybe some would have to have gone out of work, right? If you're really sick, you can't go to work. Yeah. But your business would still be there when you got better. The company for which you work that you took a break from because you got sick would still be there. Your job probably would still be there because most people can take a little time off if they get sick. But in this case, once this is over, if this is over, whatever that means, let's be optimistic and say May or June, that people can start going back to work. You're going to be lucky if you have a job to go back to at all, meaning the business itself that you worked for in February may not exist anymore because the person who was running that business, maybe their business was not like, super successful to where they have a ton of money just sitting in the bank that they can pay a mortgage or they can pay their rent for X number of months while no income is coming in, while no customers are coming through the door, while their doors have been forced to have been shut. So businesses that were on the precipice, right, like businesses that were just barely getting their staff paid, because the number one expense of any business is paying the employees. Okay, it's not rent. It's paying the employees. And so if these businesses were just barely getting the bills paid, just barely paying the employees, but it was working, right? Like they got enough money coming in where it's working. Well, now it's not going to be working. Now they're going to be behind in rent. Now they're not going to have as many people coming through the doors. And even if you can swing the doors open at the end of May, as some states are saying it's going to be in June or whatever, even if you can reopen, it's not like there's going to be a ton of people waiting to come in and go shopping because they are going to be impoverished as well.
Oh, and absolutely. And they could also use this as an excuse, the business owners or corporations or whatever, to roll out automation and make all of these jobs, obsolete. So they say, oh, well, our business can't afford another mass shutdown, so let's just have everything automated. Let's have robots do everything. And then,
well, that was coming anyway, but it may accelerate.
Absolutely accelerated. It's horrifying.
It's going to accelerate the demise of businesses that were on the edge, and that includes, by the way, our business, the business of media. We covered this a couple nights ago on Free Talk Live. Newspapers are already cutting back. They're already Tampa Tribune, major newspaper in Tampa, cutting back to 2 days a week. This was a 7-day-a-week newspaper. They're now Wednesday and Sunday.
Jeez.
Others going to go out in a business entirely.
I mean, well, is that really okay? So now, is that really a bad thing, though? A lot of because like CNN and I
for
hear
the employees, it is.
Well, I understand, but I mean, a lot of these newspapers have just been going along to get along, or they're just mouthpieces for the state, or we're spreading fake news. So I mean, I wonder if we're going to. This might be we might see like a revolution in journalism where people move away from having a like physical newspaper or website or TV channel where the sponsor is the owner, essentially, to more of like a citizen journalist thing where you have people like, was it Project Veritas, or you have Luke Rudowski's, We Are Change. So maybe at the end, and I'm assuming that the rest of the semester goes okay. I am set to graduate with a multimedia degree, so I'm certainly going to be affected by this also. The journalism field was already dismal before the coronavirus, pandemic hit.
Yeah, it's going to be even worse.
But I think that it might be for the best that you have a lot of these old dinosaur media being out of business. Obviously, it's unfortunate for the employees, but that's
they're
the thing,
trying for a bailout. That's what they want.
The news. Oh boy, all them begging Trump for a bailout. The fake news media begging Trump, and he's the only thing that's been keeping them afloat too, right? If it wasn't for Trump, they'd have nothing to spread all their hate and vitriol and report on 24/7, 7 days a week. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our made in the USA microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part? Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Attention all radio listeners who still need food supplies. If you've thought about the implication of food-related supply chain disruptions and are concerned about the coming quarantines, this will be the most important message you will ever hear. Here's why. In the next few days, all Americans will face extremely hard choices. If we've learned anything from China and Italy, it's that quarantines and enforced lockdowns are just a few days away here in the U.S. Listen, while dehydrated food is becoming scarce, you can still get enough open pollinated heirloom seeds to grow a 1-acre crisis garden. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables in the days ahead may actually be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand the nature of the threat. This could be life-saving. Lockdowns can last from 6 to 8 weeks. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Free Talk Live Radio, where you control the airwaves, and you can call in at 855-450-3733. And before we continue talking about the doom and gloom and economic fallout, not due to the coronavirus, but due to the response that governments and the media and the sheeple had to the coronavirus, the economic fallout that's a result of that. But first, I want to talk to you about Liberty.menu. For years, libertarians of all stripes have wanted a directory of liberty-minded businesses. We're helping build one. Liberty.menu. Liberty.menu is a tool for your community. At its core is a directory for events, businesses, and digital content, and more. Listings can be rated and reviewed, and there's a bit of a social network so you can connect and share with others. Use of Liberty.menu is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and those who agree to abide by the ethics of a non-aggression principle. Put your voluntarist ideas into action at Liberty.menu and use code FTL to get a special badge. That's Liberty.menu. So now we're continuing here. The time is 8:48 to... quote, was it Rush there? So continuing on here, the bleak news Thursday, this is from AP News. A record-shattering 6.6 million new unemployment claims on top of last week's unprecedented 3.3 million came as the competition for scarce ventilators, masks, and other protective gear seemed to grow more desperate, and deaths mounted with alarming speed in Italy, Spain, and New York, and most lethal hotspot in the nation with nearly 2,400 lives lost. Worldwide, the number of confirmed infections hit another gloomy milestone. 1 million, with more than 50,000 deaths, according to the tally kept by Johns Hopkins University. So they have like different quotes, and I'm just going to skip around here and talk about the economics. The mounting economic fallout almost certainly signals the onset of a global recession, with job losses that are likely to dwarf those of a Great Recession more than a decade ago. About half of all working Americans report some kind of income loss affecting themselves or a member of their household because of the epidemic, and poor people and those without college degrees are especially likely to have lost a job, according to a poll from the Associated Press, NORC, Center for Public Affairs Research. With over 220,000 people infected in the U.S. and the death toll topping 5,300, sobering preparations were made underway. The Federal Emergency Management Agency asked the Pentagon for nearly 100,000 body bags because of a possibility funeral homes will be overwhelmed, the military said. So the Trump administration was formalizing new guidance to recommend that many Americans, if not almost all, wear coverings such as non-medical masks, T-shirts, or bandanas over their mouths and noses when out in public, while reserving medical-grade masks, particularly short in supply N95 masks for those dealing directly with the sick. Oh yeah, and what was it? It was I believe the government. This is the same government that said masks aren't effective, and don't go buy masks. If you're not sick, it's and now they're saying, well, in fact, we don't have enough masks, so now you have to put clothing on your face. See here if there's anything. Trump and Democrat Party push its nominating convention back a month to mid-August. Federal authorities propose a it's just getting. This is just going into more of the
Biden is
here.
saying that there may be a remote election this year, which seems awfully optimistic because this is government we're talking about, and it's not like they can just get their S together in some 6 months period of time or whatever.
Well, if they I think if they really want to do something, that's when they suddenly become competent, right? When there's no way to skim money off the top, and
they don't become competent. No, it just doesn't happen.
Well, what about? The government was able to invent, nuclear. Well, allegedly invent nuclear weapons. It was able to have like the largest sea invasion in history. It has like the biggest police surveillance state in history. So the government's very competent when it comes down to.
No, it's usually
people.
Private companies that it uses to do things.
Well, but working with the government. Okay, all right, I understand your point.
Yeah, if the government throws enough money at a thing, then it can make a thing happen. That's true. But usually it's not in any kind of decent amount of time or at any decent cost.
Or for a decent cause either, right? We have here the Guardian. Right, when people talk about people who believe in the state, or at least believe in the United States government, they say, oh, well, we pay taxes. We have to have a government so it protects us. Okay, well, how's a government protecting people in this time of crisis? When it's spending, trillions of dollars on a bailout for big corporations, where only 9% of that, I think I've seen numbers that suggest 9% of the money from that coronavirus stimulus bailout package goes to the regular people. You have here, this is from TheGuardian.com, I haven't seen this be reported in U.S. news yet, so it's very interesting. A British newspaper would, or British news agency would cover it. A perfect storm, U.S. facing hunger crisis as demand for food bank soars. An unprecedented number of Americans have resorted to food banks for emergency supplies since the coronavirus pandemic triggered widespread layoffs. The demand for food aid has increased as much as 8-fold in some areas, according to an investigation by The Guardian, which gives a nationwide snapshot of the hunger crisis facing the U.S. as millions become unemployed. And now, mind you, we're only about a month, almost exactly, maybe slightly less than a month into this, and already people are starving. People are living in their cars, which isn't their fault, but I think it just shows how grossly unprepared so many people are. But they don't have a rainy day fund. They don't.
Oh yeah, most Americans can't afford a $500 hit.
And it's unfortunate. I don't know if it's because the economy has gotten that bad or because people have become that financially irresponsible.
No, it's financial irresponsibility, and it's not that they just got that way, Vincent. They've been that way. Well, it comes back to what we were talking about before, where Americans aren't taught savings. They're not. We didn't talk about that aspect of it, but Americans are taught safety to some extent, meaning get a job, keep a job, but they're not actually taught how to be safe with their money. They're not taught how to build up a rainy day fund or
even balance a checkbook, right? You have to take a class you have to take an elective class in order to learn that, at least at the high school I went to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it could be a generational dissonance, right? Versus saying where it's hard times create strong men create good times create weak men. This is the gendered version of it. And then weak men create hard times. My dad's in his 70s. He's a
pretty interesting.
My dad's in his 70s. He's a boomer. I'm, I guess, Gen Z. So my father's, I guess, like a generation before most Gen Z's people's fathers are. And his father, my grandfather, lived through the Great Depression as a child, and he instilled the frugality and the hard work ethic into my father and uncles. And thankfully, my father instilled that into me. So for me, I'm surprised. Like whenever I hear about the financial responsibility, for me that's surprising, right? But like people don't have money in their savings. I'm by no means like wealthy or just have money lying around, but there's always that safety net of having that rainy day fund. So it's unfortunate that other people, I guess that's been lost among the generations.
Well, it's hard too. I mean, with the way the government has created this system, people are at a severe disadvantage simply by going out and getting a job because there's so much tax to pay. There's so much overhead to just living. It's very difficult to get ahead because people have been trained that all they have to do is get a job and then everything will be fine. Just
go to college, then get a job.
Right. So that way you have debt and then you get a job, which is a terrible idea for most people, as we've seen with people with college degrees not actually using their degrees and ending up as a waitress or something like that. But people are discouraged from entrepreneurialism. The system does not teach entrepreneurialism. It does not teach people how to take a risk, to strike out on their own. And the system doesn't allow that anyway. Even if people were educated to be entrepreneurial, they would be stopped dead in their tracks by the various different government regulations that say, "Whoa, you can't do that, buddy. You got to go apply down at City Hall and then go over to the health department and then go over to this other department, and you've got all these paperworks, to do, and make sure you get an attorney because you don't want to you don't want to fill out the paperwork wrong. You got to make sure you do it in triplicate, cross all the T's, dot the I's, make sure you pay all the fees, bribes, to all the different government bureaucracies, so then they'll let you open your doors." How is somebody who's had a whole lifetime of working paycheck to paycheck, just barely getting the bills paid, how are they going to have the money to apply to all these government permits? How are they going to have the money to hire an attorney to jump through all these government hoops? The answer is they can't, and they don't. And so they just stay at the job that they had, and then they feel like they're stuck there. You know why people are so upset at Amazon and these other employers? Because they feel like, well, Amazon pays better than these other employers, but it still sucks. But they don't have any better option out there.
No, it's like neo-feudalism, right? Like the modern day, the working class, like the modern day serfs, right? There's no way of, not necessarily no way, but yeah, it's very difficult for them to get out of their situation. And also regarding the savings, right? Because of the way we have the system, right? The Federal Reserve creating money out of thin air.
It punishes savers.
Absolutely, yeah. Where because of inflation, you might have like $500 in a savings account. It could only buy like $400 worth of goods in next year, and so
all of the deck is stacked against people.
Absolutely, and I think that the government, it's by design, right, or the powers that be, right? They want a collapse to get people even more dependent on the government.
Yep.
So 855, 453. This is Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,618, silver at $14.40, and Bitcoin is trading around $6,874. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/freekratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, after last week's unprecedented 3.3 million surge in initial jobless claims, this week's is even more unprecedented, adding a stunning 6.648 million for a 2-week sum of 10 million new Americans claiming unemployment benefits. Activists Post reports that, of course, the government is coming to the rescue. As a result of the freshly passed relief bill, self-employed and gig workers who previously were unable to claim unemployment benefits are now eligible. In addition, the unemployed will get up to $600 per week for up to 4 months, which is equivalent to $15 per hour for a 40-hour work week. By comparison, the government-mandated minimum wage is about $7.25 per hour, and the average jobless benefits payment was roughly $385 per person per month at the start of this year. With more than 80% of Americans under some form of lockdown, up from less than 50% a couple of weeks ago, it's far from over. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. How do you encourage people to turn on one another during the COVID-19 pandemic? The answer is not that complicated, especially if you live in the city of Bellevue, Washington. Activist Post reports that 4 years ago, when the city created the My Bellevue app, it was touted as being a quick and easy way to report things like down street signs, potholes, streetlight issues, and noise complaints. Fast forward to 2020, and public fears of COVID-19 have encouraged law enforcement to turn neighbors into government snitches. GeekWire revealed how the Bellevue Police Department has turned a public service app into a report on your neighbor's app. You can report incidents through the My Bellevue app on your electronic device or the My Bellevue portal. A recent Associated Press article revealed that people are happy to report on their neighbors. When law enforcement encourages Americans to turn against each other, we all lose. We become a nation controlled by fear. Lawrence Mark Sanger is an American Internet Project developer and co-founder of the Internet encyclopedia, Wikipedia. In 2001, Sanger coined the name and wrote much of its original governing policy. Sanger would go on to eventually leave Wikipedia, describing it as broken beyond repair, and has been an outspoken advocate for freedom of information ever since. And according to a recent tweet storm of his, he is highly outspoken against elite child sex trafficking. Wasting no time beating around the bush, Sanger opened a thread recently by dropping some big names, linking Trump, the Clintons, Bill Gates, and the royal family to the now-deceased billionaire child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Sanger also went on to expose how the political class protected the child predator, with folks from all sides of the political spectrum going out of their way to cover for the pedophile. After hammering on Epstein, Sanger then went after Hollywood, which he referred to as Pedowood, and the Catholic Church. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
The Surgeon General warns teens the cinnamon challenge is not for pussies. Taylor Swift is now dating the Watertown boat, and a middle-aged funeral director buys a flashy red hearse. We pity your pathetic dependence on this for your weekly news, but here we go anyway. This is the Onion Week in Review. A study released this week by the National Institutes of Health confirmed that for the 25th straight year, wolf attacks remain the leading cause of death in the United States. The Human Health Agency's findings confirmed that being viciously killed by a ravenous wolf claimed the lives of over 800,000 Americans last year alone, with researchers adding that one person in the United States dies every 40 seconds from a violent wolf attack.
The mortality rate associated with wolf attacks vastly outstrips the death tolls of cancer, stroke, and chronic respiratory disease. People should know that anyone... Oh, Jesus, no.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome back, everyone, to Free Talk Live Radio, where you control the airwaves, and you could call in at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And so before we continue on talking about a potential hunger crisis affecting America, where National Guard has been deployed to help distribute food to needy people in some areas, we're going to go to Larry in Indianapolis on the phone lines. Welcome. What's on your mind?
How you doing now?
Hey, Larry. Go ahead.
Hey, this is so phony, right? That I'm thinking about designing some Coronawear.
What do you mean?
I love the Coronawear.
Like
you know,
clothing?
they have the thing, clothing, where you got a situation where you have retractable 6-foot poles that whenever you come into a crowd of people, you take it and you then put your poles out so you can stay 6 foot apart, right?
Silly.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
And then
that's real?
That's just how stupid it is. And then you go and say you're gonna don't want to cough. Some lady today, I went in the store and she said you can't touch the door till you use some lotion, some antiseptic lotion on your hand. I said, shit.
Oh, you can't say that on the radio. Sorry, buddy. Was gonna ask him if this was a woman who was actually the store owner. Or another customer.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I believe I got that in time.
Normally, he's really good at not saying stuff.
Oh, he's a regular? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say bad words. Please be careful.
Yeah, unfortunately, the FCC still hasn't shut down.
My heart skipped a beat. So
you sound like you got him dumped pretty fast, though. So good job.
Oh, thank you. National Guard here.
But anyway, let's talk a little bit about what he was saying before you go into that.
I thought he was joking, right? I thought he was like an idea.
I think that was a joke. But he wasn't joking about being shamed for not using a wipe on the door or whatever.
Yeah, which is I have it, like, I've been being careful, right? Like, I have this little thing of hand sanitizer, and I've been when I'd have to deal with people at like the liquor
How'd you
store,
get it?
Well, I know a guy. No, I've had this for a while.
Okay.
I actually opened my medicine cabinet, and I just see all of his stuff that I've gotten at like trade shows, all these little things of hand sanitizer. So I'm good. So if anyone's in Keene and has some, so I would hand the money, sanitize my hands, touch the groceries, sanitize my hands, touch the door, sanitize my hands. And a lot of the workers, I think I think more people than one would expect also think that this is a hoax or it's not as big of a deal as the government media wants you to think, because I am more careful than the grocery store and liquor store employees, right? Where I'm like, oh, I'm trying to keep my distance and it's fine. Give me the money. So I guess it depends on what policies a company would have, but.
Well, I tend to agree with you as far as I think a lot of people are not as impressed with these mandates. I mean, we had a lot of positive response yesterday at the Freedom to Assembly event. There were a lot of folks driving by, waving, smiling, friendly honking of horns. So, I don't know what the real results are, but of course there was this Rasmussen poll that was saying that 2/3 of people in the United States are interested in, according to this, supporting closed borders for their state and fines for social distancing violators.
Well, I'd say in times of a pandemic, it makes sense to. I mean, what you call closed borders, it means quarantine, right? And that's how some cities during
it means
the
not
Black
allowing
Plague,
anybody to come into your state from outside.
I mean, that's how a lot of cities in the during the Black Plague would stay safe and would stay safe because they would just close the gates, not let anyone in, and
but it goes to show that the fear is working. That according to this poll, at least 2/3 of Americans are in a state of fear and willing to accept any amount of tyranny, is what it sounds like.
And so just because there might be if there was something that was like Captain Trips, right, from Stephen King's The Stand, if people were just dropping dead from a disease, I'd understand it'd be totally appropriate to just shut down the borders. But in this case, where it's just an over glorified cold virus, it looks like COVID-19. I just want to read this paragraph here. The National Guard has been deployed to help food banks cope with rising demand in cities, including.
What are they going to do? Sandbag?
Well, they're handing
Shoot
out
the food?
Well, no, they're handing out the food, and most likely, if they run out, to keep the peace in case it does run out. So they're doing it in cities like Cleveland, Phoenix, and St. Louis amid growing concerns that supplies may run low as the crisis evolves. Overstretched food pantries are switching to drive-thrus and home deliveries to minimize the spread of COVID-19, as almost 300 million Americans are urged to stay at home.
I heard there were huge lines at the Orlando Food Bank today, big time, hours long waits to get in.
Oh, and just imagine if the food runs out and Americans who've never had to face any issues with famine. For the most part, right? There's food. It's if you could buy a cheeseburger the size of your head for $5, you don't really have a hunger problem in this country.
No.
But
America has not had a hunger problem in our lifetimes.
But despite all of those stupid commercials where it's 1 in every 5 families aren't getting nutrition. Well, they're not getting nutrition because they're going to McDonald's every night. But we have here.
But they're not starving because they're fat.
No, yeah. Or it's they're fat, they're getting food, but they're not getting nutrition, and that's why we have so many health problems here in the country. Let's go to Rich in Florida. Welcome. What's on your mind?
Hey, you just mentioned Orlando. I'm in Kissimmee in the Orlando area. Ian is indeed right. There are big lines at the food pantries in the Central Florida area because all of our seasonal and vacation workers are, at the parks, everybody's laid off right now temporarily. It is a bit of a problem here. I haven't listened in a while, guys. I listened last night, and one of the host area just had the worst attitude about this thing. I think you guys are probably on his or her side on this topic, but it's almost as if no one is taking this seriously. If we're not being responsible as under 50-year-old people, we're going to kill a lot of people that are over 60.
How's that?
And we're going to continue the perpetuation of this disease, and it's going to keep spreading from person to person to person with a 14-plus day incubation period, and people are going to unknowingly spread this to people that they don't intend to.
Well, then why don't those people just stay home?
Because we all are in kind of this together, living in the same cities and states, and
that sounds very communistic.
Respect for your common man.
I don't disrespect my common man, but if my common man wants to stay super, super safe and is super concerned, they should stay inside their home where I can't get to them.
What if every child under the age of 10 was super susceptible to a disease? Would you be making the same?
I don't spend time with children.
I'm
not interested in spending time with children, so I won't be infecting them.
Well, they still exist, and we were both children once, and this is going to kill off everyone's grandma because of selfish people like Area.
Oh,
and maybe
what a load!
Guys.
My mother is 69 years old, so she's certainly old enough to be people's grandmother, and she's still going to work.
And she's at an ultra high risk of getting sick, unfortunately.
That's her choice, though.
Move in the world.
That's her choice. Shouldn't she be free to make that choice?
She should be.
Okay, then we agree. If you should be free to make the choice to take a risk, then you agree with me.
Can you guys see the bigger picture? How does this country or this world get out of this disease if we don't cooperate with each other?
You probably aren't gonna. It's probably gonna mutate and come back.
I just want to say that I understand you. I understand your sentiment. I absolutely do, and I do think that some people are being way too aloof regarding the virus. I think it's just extreme reactions on both sides. Where I'm with Ian. I think that. I don't think this shutdown is necessary. I think it's just going to destroy the economy. I don't think it's going to do a lick of good. But at the same time, I also do understand. I think that people should practice better hygiene and have better nutrition, just keep themselves healthy. And
how many people's jobs and businesses are you willing to completely sacrifice on the altar of saving a few thousand old people who might have died anyway?
Dude, I employ 40 people. You can Google my name and my phone number and see that that's true. I am super concerned about that.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about this son of a gun going on for a year and a half.
Right.
And because area and you don't want to do what needs to be done to slow this thing down.
How do you know you're going to have a business after this thing's over?
It's scary, guys. Honestly, it's very scary. And I worry about the people that work for me. I'm going to be fine, but the people who work for me might not if people aren't being a little bit more careful and doing the right thing. And maybe that's what I'm calling about. I'm scared. And
it sounds like it.
You guys don't seem too scared about this.
No, I don't see any purpose in being scared.
I mean, I have, I have God on my side, so I'm not scared at all. If it's my time, it's my time. But thank you for the call, and hopefully your employees
if there's anything that's scary,
are okay.
It's what the government is doing about this and hurting people and destroying businesses and lives over this. That's scary.
That's scary, and this is Free Talk Live. We'll be right back.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
We call him Willy Wonka. He's a chocolate lab. His belly itched, and he would actually lay in the grass and scoot across it to scratch. DINOVITE.com. Dinovite is nutrition. His belly, it's all really cleaned up. He flops over and lays on his back and just kicks his legs. I call it his happy dance.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Do you want to work from home, get paid, and forward Liberty all at the same time? Free Talk Live is looking for account executives and appointment setters. If you've got a phone, a computer, internet connectivity, initiative, and a belief in the non-aggression principle, you're qualified. Earn up to $85,000 a year full-time, $25,000 a year part-time. Set your own hours, work from home, spread freedom. Join our team and work with one of the biggest leaders in the Liberty movement. Apply now at sales.freetalklive.com. Sales.freetalklive.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcasts to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Fear Talk Live. No, it's Free Talk Live. Although some of the callers want it to be Fear Talk Live. You know, we're gonna get people killed, and we're gonna get the old people and the kids killed.
Well,
oh, no.
Yeah, you're so irresponsible because you're not going along with the crowd. Do what the government says. Just do it this time, okay? The government's being honest for once.
Yes.
You can trust them. You believe Trump, right? You believe Barack Obama, right?
Well, in this case, it's the opposite. Trump is the one who is trying to downplay this whole thing and trying to get the economy back. Well,
he was talking about it in the beginning, but he seems to have fallen right in line.
Well, yeah, which is unfortunate, but I think to a certain extent he's sort of being forced to do so because if Trump, because the way that the media, and I think this is a Democrat plot against Trump in the end, a Republic, because what's going on is you're having the media, take the Keene Sentinel, right? Every single day,
it's a local newspaper.
Yes, a local Sentinel. Any time there's I see headlines where it's 4 people infected in New Hampshire. Then the next day, 5 people infected in New Hampshire. And it's just this constant drumming up of this negative emotion, this hysteria. And it's not just them, it's most of the media. And if Trump, and what they're doing is they're counting people who died with a coronavirus, not of the coronavirus.
That's right.
And they're trying to apply. So it's incredibly dishonest. And so that's being used against Trump because
that's what I was saying when the caller was on the line. It's well, how do you know that a lot of these old folks who've died wouldn't have died anyway? You said, in Italy, for instance, they have been chalking up everybody who dies with coronavirus, saying it was because of coronavirus. But a lot of them had more morbidity conditions prior to getting the coronavirus. So did it finish them off? Maybe it did. But maybe it didn't.
And also, a majority of people who have died from it, at least the last time I looked at the numbers, they had multiple other issues, right? Other health issues.
That's what I'm saying.
And so, and so if Trump decided to keep his head for this and not order of a shutdown or not, or I don't think federally he's really done as much as it's mainly the governors that are doing it. Anytime anyone would have died and all they have to do is just say it's a coronavirus, then they say the blood is on his hands. And even with all that he's been doing on Twitter, you have trending Trump body count. Everyone who dies is Trump's. Really, those are hashtags.
Blaming Trump for this.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is definitely politically motivated.
Of course. I mean, it's going to be used as a political football in 2020 as far as the campaigns are concerned. Everybody's going to be pointing fingers and blaming everybody else. Oh, if only we would have been in charge, then we would have saved so many more lives. Of course, we didn't get to live that reality, so,
Yeah, well, it's a problem, reaction, solution, right? And the Democrats, they're presenting themselves as the solution to the problem that them and their controlled media did. And I'm not trying to say that Republicans are perfect or whatever, but in this case, I'd say the blame. This is a Democrat takeover plan.
Well, I don't know if I'm with you on that because you've got plenty of Republican governors who are cracking down
That's true.
very hard on the various different states. And, are the Democrat governors worse? Maybe. Honestly, I don't know. It seems like they're all doing the same thing, just at different times.
Oh, in this case, I'm talking about the Washington Democrats, not like the local.
But as you pointed out, it's the governors who are the ones creating these executive orders. They're the ones who are cracking down. If it weren't for the governors in the United States, each business would get to decide how to handle this. Each individual would get to decide. But this has nothing to do with political party, Vincent. They're going to make it sound like it has to do with political party. Each political party is going to use this as political ammunition in the election. But the reality is it's just straight up authoritarianism.
No,
that's what this is. It's people, Republican and Democrat, who are in search of power over others, who have that power, and who are now aggregating more power to those positions, and there's virtually no opposition to it.
Oh, and it's only getting worse. I have here, and this is newyork.cbslocal.com. Coronavirus. New Jersey governor orders state police to commandeer needed medical supplies. It's always I love how they come up with all these synonyms for stealing. Commandeer medical supplies. And I haven't found this reported anywhere else as of tonight. So Trenton, New Jersey, CBS, New York. Governor Phil Murphy has given New Jersey State Police orders to take N95 masks, ventilators, and other personal protective equipment that healthcare facilities need in their race to slow the spread of coronavirus. And the governor says, quote, while we look forward to these facilities cooperating with us and providing this equipment as needed, this order gives police the express authority to requisition it for distribution.
It's a nice factory you got here. It'd be a shame for something bad to happen to.
Hey, why don't you want to get rid of your product? What, you want my grandmother to die or something? Requisition it for distribution to our acute care hospitals and other healthcare facilities, said Murphy in his daily COVID-19 briefing. And needless to say, they badly need the equipment. The order came as New Jersey saw deaths related to COVID-19 illness jumped 182 in 24 hours to a total of 537. By Thursday, New Jersey has a total of 25,590 confirmed coronavirus cases across the state, and the rest of it is just over. So, but I do want to read. We also certainly hope that the New Jersey State Police Colonel Patrick J. Callahan doesn't have to use this authority, said Murphy. We would hope that folks would step forward and do the right thing, but if need be, we will use that authority. Sounds like a Lord Humongous, but just walk away, just drop the pump and the oil, and you will leave with your life. There's been too much violence, too much pain.
Is that Mad Max?
Yeah, Road Warrior. So this is, so I mean, basically they're just legalizing stealing. And this has happened before. I saw, and we're going to go use this under the guide of hoarding, right? Where, I've seen people who are, quote, hoarding hand sanitizer, right? People just had a bunch of it in storage. And you have like communities just like, with police help, breaking open the storage facility and then redistributing the hand sanitizer. So, and this is normal, right?
From each according to his ability, to each according to his need.
Absolutely, yeah. And you're not seeing militias be formed to fight against this just because so many people are scared that they're willing to hand over all of their freedoms, right, including freedom of owning property, to freedom to just keep their stuff, a freedom to not have their stuff stolen. And the comments are actually pretty good in the article too. People were asking if the police are patrolling around these businesses where the police are at gunpoint, taking the masks and other materials, who do the police shoot at? So could they, who watches the watchers? Now next here, we're talking about snitches, and this ties in. I just want to cover international, right? Just because this is from the Reuters. Germans snitch on neighbors, flouting virus rules in echo of the Stasi past. Law-abiding, and this is published today, law-abiding Germans are zealously helping police crack down on people floating new social distancing rules aimed at slowing the spread of a coronavirus by reporting on strangers, neighbors, and friends.
You're not a friend if that's what you're doing to your friends. Just let you know.
And since police in German capital since middle of March have ordered 830 pubs, shisha bars, and other establishments to shut down and recorded 898 crimes. Forces around Germany are in a similar situation. Munich police took up 150 calls every day last week from citizens reporting alleged breaches of corona rules, Spiegel Online reported. And
I would like to file for a Freedom of Information Act request and find out who the dirty snitches are.
You can in Germany, probably not.
Yeah, probably
not. Just want to say, some police have asked citizens not to overburden the police, quoting an official saying, quote, people should make a report every time they see 3 people sitting on a park bench. So they have so many snitches, the cops are asking them to stop snitching. This is, God, thank God. I'm going to say thank God we don't live in Germany, but it's also coming here to the United States. We have this article coming right up. Los Angeles is giving people rewards to snitch. 855-450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't do that and you have to leave here. You cannot bring signs into their rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Free Talk Live Radio, where you control the airways, which you could do so by calling in the number 855-453. That's 855-450-3733. And before we get to Steve on the line, I want to tell you about ForkFest 2020. Join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June 29th until July 5th for ForkFest 2020 at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. Forkfest happens the week after the Porcupine Freedom Festival, and Forkfest is decentralized, which means no one is in charge. That also means there's no ticket cost. Just reserve your camping, RV site, or motel room with Rogers Campground for June 29th until July 5th. Where better to celebrate Independence Day than around other freedom-loving activists in the Shire? You could simply relax and go camping with other liberty lovers, or you could create whatever experience or event you'd like others to have. If you're planning an event for Forkfest, be sure to let others know in advance. You can connect with other Forkfesters via the unofficial Telegram chat or the Forkfest forum. Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. That is forkfest.party. And so now we go to the phone lines where Steve is on the line. Welcome. What's on your mind?
How you doing, fellas?
Hey, Steve.
I'm the guy that called the other night about my wife being she's a conservative with libertarian tendencies. And, you know, I wanted to share a little bit about what was going on in Arkansas related to all of this coronavirus crap. First of all, I'm pretty convinced that my family had it back in early January because we were all sick. We all went to the clinic, all tested negative for flu and strep. But for 2 weeks, we were sick.
Didn't you say, Vincent, that there were a bunch of people at the school that were sick in January of this year?
Oh, yeah, not just my school. At other colleges all across the country in January. Yeah, it was like a petri dish. Everyone was sick.
I live in a town of, 80,000 people. It's the second largest town in the state. And the clinic that I went to, there was a 4-hour wait because everybody was sick. They called, there's 4 clinics run by this same hospital in town, and every one of their clinics they called had a 4-hour wait because everyone in town apparently was sick. So I don't think this is the first we've seen of this. It's not going to be the last we see of it. Fortunately, I live in the only state in the South, knock on wood, that doesn't have a shelter-in-place order. And
yet
we're still able to. Now, there are a lot of, all the restaurants are closed and all that stuff. But, I run a car dealership. And, I have 800 customers, and most of my customers are being affected by this, which means my business is being affected by it.
Right.
I've got associates that work for me that are freaking out. Why are we even still here? Why are we still, I'm just like, look, we'll worry about it when we have to worry about it.
Well, right. Who's going to buy a car if they don't know if they're going to have a job next week,
Right. I understand that, but I'm talking about as far as us being at work. I mean, we have a job to do, and unless you get sick and need to stay home, you need to be at work.
I agree.
And if you don't want to be here, then you don't have to be here, but you're not going to get unemployment just for not wanting to be here. Now, my company's going to pay folks that have to stay home if they get diagnosed with it. If they have to be quarantined for 14 days. My company's in 12 states. We have 1,400 employees. And so
awesome.
They've been very proactive about what we're going to do as a company. And they operate in many states that are shut down right now. So it's really putting a bind on our operations. But it's just tough because it's a cold.
Yes, it's a souped-up, over-glorified, fear-mongered cold. Absolutely, because coronavirus is listed on disinfectant products. It's listed in medical textbooks as just being one of the most popular strains of the common cold.
Right, and I'm not saying that it's not a threat and that people aren't at risk, because I feel they are. But at the same time, it's just like when in Arkansas they made a big deal about banning cigarette smoking in bars. Well, you know what? I don't smoke, but at least don't insult my intelligence enough to think that, if I don't want to go somewhere where they're not smoking, I'll find a bar that don't allow smoking.
Right.
Don't make it illegal for everyone.
That's how adults are supposed to handle life, is to make choices about the things that they want to experience and the things that they don't want to experience, to use their market.
The business that I want to patronize, and you don't need to tell me or tell a business owner that, well, you don't need to do this because this group of people are offended by that, or it bothers this group of people.
You vote with your feet, you vote with your dollars. That's what a freer market would be like. And unfortunately, in many states, we just don't have that option.
Anything else you'd like to add, Steve?
No, I just, as I said the last time I called, I've only been listening for about a week. I really enjoy the show. I think that sometimes I hear some stuff that I think might be, because I feel like I'm an ultra conservative. I'm a God-fearing Christian, and there's some things that I guess I'm learning about the libertarian part. Like I mentioned the other night about the hatred for police that I've heard from some, and that kind of concerns me. Got very good friends that are police. Friend of mine's the chief of police here, and I don't like the fact that they get looked. Now there are cops that are bad cops. There's bad. But,
absolutely. We have all our differences, but I appreciate you being able to overlook that and be able to enjoy the show regardless. Thank you for the call, Steve.
Yeah, interesting to hear about the business too, and how he's handling that and trying to help out the employees and encourage them to still come to work.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I'm sure there's plenty of people who actually like for me, for instance, right? I want to go back to my campus job, right? I was making not good money, but I was making money from it, and just being told that I can't. Because I would have too before we had the college just totally shut down. There was an option for me to go in and do shifts that people were too scared to take. I'm like, whatever. If I die, I die. And now I can't even do that. So it's incredibly unfortunate. But it's worse for other people. So just imagine being in Los Angeles. This is from the Los Angeles CBSLocal.com. Snitches get rewards. Garcetti issues new rules for construction sites. Encourages community to report safer at home violators.
It's a strange title.
So the mayor, Eric Garcetti, announced new guidelines for construction sites that continue to operate during the coronavirus pandemic while encouraging the community to report businesses that violate the safer at home order. Garcetti said that since the stay-at-home order was put in place, the city has been told about construction sites have not been following the guidelines set out in that order. In an effort to enforce safe practice, Garcetti said the Department of Building and Safety has developed new guidelines specifically for construction sites to ensure the safety of employers, workers, and the community at large.
Right. Once again, the government goons positioning themselves as the arbiters of everything that's safe and forcing their, strictures down upon private businesses who should otherwise be able to make their own decisions about safety protocols.
And now he's trying to get citizens to do their work for them. Garcetti also used the Tuesday briefing to encourage people in the community to report businesses that continue to violate the order. Quote, if any non-essential businesses continue to operate in violation of the stay-at-home order, we're going to act to enforce the safer at home sounds so stupid, safer at home order and ensure their compliance, he said. Ensure their compliance.
That's what it is.
As of Tuesday afternoon, Garcetti said business ambassadors had visited 450 businesses that had not complied. Business ambassadors?
Well, yeah. Is that their code for enforcer?
For goons, yeah.
Goon squad. Well, we're your business ambassadors, and we're here to tell you if you don't close your doors, we're going to board them up and arrest you. Because that's what they'll do.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they did in Cincinnati to one business that was staying open.
It's like what the mafia would do back in these Martin Scorsese movies. Except these people wear suits and ties. But probably the mafiosos are dressed better than government workers usually. Of those, 144 were visited by officers of Los Angeles Police Department to ensure compliance with the order. So they actually had to get armed muscle to follow them there. 4 businesses have been referred to the city's attorney's office for misdemeanor filings.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, that's
how crazy this is.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just, citizens are snitching on their own accord. We have a video, a shocking video we're going to play on the other side.
Remember, he's going to pay people to snitch, too. That's the other part of that story. They're going to give them money to snitch.
Get to that and shoot them dead. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte orders police and military to kill civilians who defy coronavirus lockdown. This is Free Talk Live.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
Attention all radio listeners who still need food supplies. If you've thought about the implication of food-related supply chain disruptions and are concerned about the coming quarantines, this will be the most important message you will ever hear. Here's why. In the next few days, all Americans will face extremely hard choices. If we've learned anything from China and Italy, it's that quarantines and enforced lockdowns are just a few days away here in the U.S. Listen, while dehydrated food is becoming scarce, you can still get enough open pollinated heirloom seeds to grow a 1-acre crisis garden. The truth is, growing nutrient-dense vegetables in the days ahead may actually be the single most important thing you do. Go to survivalseedbank.com and watch the new video to understand the nature of the threat. This could be life-saving. Lockdowns can last from 6 to 8 weeks. Get free bonus seeds, special quarantine reports too. Go to survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com.
You've seen crazy diets to lose weight. At GCN Team, our healthy body weight loss system simply neutralizes the body, bringing down cravings. It has been proven that nutritional deficiencies drive appetite for carbs, sugars, and fats. Lose weight the easy way. Find us at gcnteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Fighting cravings is a fool's game. Give the body what it needs to be satisfied. Again, 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Free Talk Live. And I want to give a very, very special thank you to our amplifier, Chris, who is a platinum amplifier, supports, being part of the AMP group. It supports the show, supports the broadcast, supports the network, and it's always a great show of appreciation. So we thank you, Chris. And for people who want to learn more about the amplifier program, so that they could get their names read on the air, Minister Freeman, where should they go?
amp.freetalklive.com.
amp.freetalklive.com to learn how to get your name on the esteemed list here with Chris's and being an amplifier. That's amp.freetalklive.com. So before we get to the phone lines, I missed a quote here. So now the real zinger is because Ian brought this in. I didn't have a chance to read the article ahead of time. So you have the Los Angeles Mayor Garcetti, who is cracking down on all just cracking down on people who are violating their coronavirus shutdown rules. And so I can't believe, like, this is, this is something like, if this is like an SNL skit, right? The fact that he said this. Quote, the old expression about snitches? Well, in this case, snitches get rewards, Garcetti said. We want to thank you for turning folks in and making sure we are all safe. Violations of the Safer at Home order can be reported online. Oh, isn't that so nice? The CBS local Los Angeles affiliate, they even put a link, and they put a link to where you could report people online. This is ridiculous. Let's see here. It's a Google form. Or it looks like, Google. Oh, wow, gee, great. The city of Los Angeles, the biggest city in the country, or one of the biggest cities in the country, and they can't get anything better than a Google Doc. Let's see here. Your contact information, so it's not anonymous, all right? So it's not anonymous. What is your name? What is your phone number, your address, email address, alleged violators, contact information? So at least it's not anonymous tips, right? At least you got to put your name online.
Well, they got to know who to cut the check to.
Oh, that is a good point. Nature of the alleged violation. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I'm too much of a gangster thinking. I'm expecting them just to give a wad of money or whatever. But
no, it doesn't work that way. The way it works generally with snitch programs, because remember these things have existed for decades.
Yeah.
Usually, like for instance, I was in New York and they had a big billboard up like that you could get up to $1,000 if you can snitch on somebody for having a gun in New York City. But they're not going to give you the $1,000 on the arrest. You get the $1,000 or up to $1,000 if they get the conviction.
I see. So you're going to have to wait for that money. That's a good point. This is just totally disgusting. I want to play this video here, and thanks. And this is from TikTok, and it's a woman. Okay. It's a woman who is just, it speaks for itself. These two guys are just sitting in their car, and this woman starts screaming at them.
Grass is grass.
Right.
Do you understand? And if
I'm
you
done with this
so be looking out for those cops.
All right, I will.
Get out of our
I'll be looking out for those
cops.
cops.
Sheltering in place. Go ahead, put me on social media. You're a real cop. Seriously?
Oh my God.
Seriously, I called the cops. I can't. What?
I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
When you're all right. So and look how happy she was too when she said she's calling the police.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so sick.
She was really excited that they were going to be made safe.
So we have a few callers on the line here. It's the end of the show, so let's do sort of like a, as an homage to actually the first talk radio guy I ever listened to, Ghost from True Capitalist Radio. Sort of radio graffiti. So just please, make your point. We'll reply, get your word in, and then we'll move on to the next caller since there's people in line. So welcome. We have David from New Mexico. What's on your mind? What's your point?
Well, I'll tell you another day about the Brigadier General that said something on topic, but because you mentioned stitches, let me tell you one technique to use, and this was used in Vietnam. Prisoners of war did this to their captors that were beating them, and I'm going to talk about myself, for instance. Civil disobedience. I'm being prosecuted for standing up to my government right now. They're threatening me with 4 years of prison. Here's the point. If you make them hurt you, in other words, they make a rule, and you say, no, I ain't following it. Beat me. Go ahead. Beat me. Normal humans, and they have a few of them working for the government, don't like that. And so you got to stand up to them and say, beat me. Go ahead. Do it. Enough people do that. The monsters that are there to beat you, they start to quit their jobs. So that's a point of psychology that actually works, and it was used in Vietnam with prisoners of war. So stand up to them and make them beat you. Huh?
Which side? I appreciate that. That's a great advice. So which side? So like would the Viet Cong or the Vietnamese were the Vietnamese prisoners doing that to the Americans, or
no,
to be the
American prisoners who had nothing to do with deciding to go to war there. They were drafted, but they found out by trial and error that if they didn't give their captors everything that they wanted, if they made their captors beat them in order to get it, the captors started interrogating them less because they apparently didn't really like beating on other people, even if they were the enemy.
Oh, very interesting. Well, thank you for bringing that up. I guess it didn't, someone should have told John, was it Songbird McCain, right? Because McCain, spilled the beans and committed treason, and yet, he gets elected to office, which, just makes sense. Anyways. So we have James here calling from, looks like Phoenix. What's on your mind? You there?
Oh, boy.
You just slandered an American hero.
Oh, it's James. Oh, he's going to defend John McCain. Okay, James, you're doing a welcome.
You're a complete loser. loser and you're hanging out with one, and that's why you've turned into one. And we all have to answer to our Creator. You're so lucky he's not my son, or I would have already broken your neck, Ian Bernard. And I mean that.
You'd have broken your own son's neck?
Not a jury in the Shire.
Jesus.
Not a jury in the Shire would care if I came up there and stepped on your head, Ian Bernard.
You're such a good Jesus-loving man. What a good Christian you are.
Never said I was, but I'm not the one.
I'm pretty sure you have said you're a Christian, in fact, on more than one occasion.
I've never said I was raised a Christian, you fool. A Roman Catholic, to be specific.
Oh, so you're no longer a Christian, is what you're saying.
If there wasn't...
What is your religious belief? Do you have one?
If I weren't a Roman, Catholic, I'd drop the comma.
So wait, are you a Catholic or not? I'm real unclear on this.
You're a terrible human being.
All right, you're boring.
Yeah, he's so awful.
Okay, so I want to actually, speaking of religion and such, okay, actually, I think so Catholics, I think Duterte is either a Catholic, Muslim, or agnostic, I think, because in the Philippines, usually it's the two. So Duterte, president of the Philippines, we sort of come full circle, because I remember one of the first times...
He's a lunatic is what he is.
Because some of the first shows I did on Free Talk Live, right back in 2016, that's when Duterte was elected as president, and he said he was, going to drive around his motorcycle killing drug dealers and stuff. So now it's come full circle. Now I'm first chairing, and Duterte's still at it, threatening to kill his own citizens. So, okay, here we go. So this is from the CBSNews.com. In the Philippines, 57 million residents of the country's main island, Luzon, are under strict lockdown orders to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Despite that, many in a Manila slum took to the streets Wednesday to protest a lack of supplies, arguing they had not received any food packs since the lockdown started 2 weeks ago. The local government refutes those claims and clash of protesters, ultimately arresting 20 people who refused to return home. Later that night, Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte took to the airwaves with a chilling warning for his citizens. Defy the lockdown orders again, and the police will shoot you dead. Quote,
that's how they roll over there, man.
Well, at least they're honest about it compared to in the U.S. They just have these vague threats.
I mean, we've had people who would like to see us be shot.
Yeah,
There are people out
and get
there.
our heads stomped in.
Yeah, there are people out there, and I'm not talking about the last caller, but there are people out there who would revel in the idea of us being, having our heads bashed in or shot or thrown in the, some gulag simply because we didn't go along with the government's plan on this. And maybe they want to see a Duterte get in charge.
Well, and that's the thing. Would Duterte arrest the deep state criminals? Well, maybe Duterte is Q. Quote, I will not hesitate. My orders are to the police and military, as well as village officials. If there is any trouble or occasions where there's violence and your lives are in danger, shoot them dead, he said in a mix of Filipino and English in a televised address. Do not intimidate the government. Do not challenge the government. You will lose.
And he'll just pardon somebody if they bring up, if they bring one of these people who shoots another person dead, one of these government goons, if there's any kind of potential for a charge against him, he'll just pardon them.
Oh, yeah, or they'll cover up the evidence, where it's like in the U.S. what they do, so cops do is if they shoot someone without cause, they put their taser in the guy's hand, and then they're like, and cops would help each other out with that too. I saw a secret video of it.
Well, in the Philippines, they don't even have to go through all that.
That's a good point. So I just want to end on a positive note here. This is from, again, CBS News. Louisiana church packed for services again, despite charges against pastor amid pandemic. This is published yesterday.
This is the guy that they already arrested for holding services in his church. He's already facing misdemeanor charges, and he went back and held another service.
And yeah, it was filled. And you have like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. All these holy sites in like the Middle East are closed because of coronavirus. But it's good that some people still have hold up the faith. And
I think this is also good, and I think it's interesting that it's actually some of the religious folks who are the ones who are most, I guess, courageous in violating these government orders. Kudos to them for this. And I hope that if they keep arresting this guy, that like the assistant pastor comes in, and then the church elders come in and just keep hosting services.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, because they don't, people of faith don't rely on the government. They rely on God for protection. This is Free Talk Live. Thanks, everyone, so much for tuning in. See y'all tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make